This is Prime Ticket, the world's largest regional sports network.
The 50-yard indoor war is back for season number 5. Tonight's Arena Football season opener has Albany hosting New Orleans next on Prime Network. Presents Arena Football. Tonight from Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York, the Albany Firebirds host the New Orleans Knights. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Land, along with Tony Hill, the one-time fine wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and we're glad to have you with us for the first of a series of telecasts on Arena Football, as this is the season opener here in Albany. And an interesting matchup for tonight's contest, as Albany is a ball club that's in its second year in the league. Last year, a bit of a disappointment, finishing at 3-5, but Coach Rick Buffington feels he's got a very improved team, Tony.
Yes, they do. The Albany Firebirds finished second in team total defense. However, they lack that same firepower in offense. And because of this, Coach Rick Buffington hired Mike Hennessy to improve their last place finishing offense.
And hopefully that'll turn the corner for them offensively. On the flip side, New Orleans is a team playing its first game in franchise history, being an expansion ball club. But the Knight does have one game under its belt, and that was an exhibition contest against Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah, they were fortunate to have an opportunity to play an exhibition game, which they experienced with all expansion teams experiences inconsistency. If they can pick that up and play consistent without any turnovers, they'll be a better team, and we look forward to seeing that.
Doesn't matter if you're indoors or outdoors, you better have somebody who can throw the football. And these two teams are excited about their signal callers. First of all, for New Orleans, a guy by the name of Willie Totten.
Everyone's heard of Jerry Rice for the San Francisco 49ers. Well, behind every great receiver, there's a good quarterback. And that's where Willie Totten comes in. Coach Kayak feels great about this guy. They think he can be an NFL quarterback, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight.
Totten was the guy that teamed up with Rice, of course, at Mississippi Valley for all those NCAA records a few years ago. On the other side, Albany went north of the border to find their quarterback. He's a veteran, Tom Porras.
Tom Porras. Albany went to Canada. Tom Porras has played in Canada, played in the Grey Cup Bowl, and has the potential of being a great quarterback. He's used to throwing the ball. This league presents an opportunity to throw the ball, and it should be in a very interesting contest. It's always exciting, and it's intense with the fans on top of you. We'll be back with more from Albany on Prime Network in a moment. Prime Network's presentation of Arena Football is brought to you by Little Caesars, 2 great pizzas, 1 low price, always, always. By Spalding, official supplier of the Iron Man football. By Bite, advanced technology serving athletes worldwide. And by Max Pro, the fastest growing brand of helmets in America.
Caesar's Cheeser. Not 1, but 2 pizzas loaded with cheese and up to 5 toppings for $8.98.
Teaser.
Arena Ball. An indoor war on the floor. High scoring. Hard hitting. Iron Man football. To get closer to the action, you have to suit up. Arena Football. Orlando and Detroit this weekend on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way.
The power to wake up young teachers have that power. Reach for it. I'm Edward James Olmos, and we're recruiting new teachers. For information, call 1-800-45-TEACH.
Cousins Warehouse is a source for photo appliance and electronics. At Cousins, it's simple. We sell for less. Cousins has guaranteed everyday lowest prices on all Whirlpool appliances, like this Whirlpool under-the-counter Energy Saver dishwasher with 2 automatic cycles, or this Whirlpool side-by-side refrigerator freezer with ice and water in the door. Cousins Financing offers 90 days deferred payment at both Cousins locations, near downtown and just off Miramar Road.
Cousins Warehouse, the source.
If you were at the beach or out of town Memorial Weekend, here's good news. Arnold's Furniture's gigantic Memorial Weekend clearance sale continues for one final weekend. Everything in all Arnold stores is up to 50% off. Thomasville, a special purchase. Select Thomasville bedrooms a full 38 to 42% off. Plus America's largest selection of imported Italian leather furniture, 30 to 60% off. No monthly payments for 6 months. Hurry, it's this weekend only. Sale ends Sunday 6 p.m. at all Arnold stores.
Welcome back to Prime Network and Arena Football. 1991 at Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you. Let's take a look at some of the basics as far as Arena Football and the 8-team setup this year in Arena Football, as this is actually the second game of the season. The season opener was last night with defending champion Detroit winning. The basic rules: 50-yard field, half of the normal football field, 8-yard end zones instead of the 10, 85 feet wide with the padded sidewalls. The goalpost 9 feet wide, very narrow for the field goal and the extra points. Crossbar is 15 feet high as compared to 10 in regular football. 8 players aside who play both ways, with the exception of the quarterback and an offensive and defensive specialist. And the nets and the sidewalls are in play. Now the scoring is normal scoring, except for you can get a 2-point conversion by run, as in college, pass, or a drop kick, and also 4 points for a field goal by a drop kick. We're all set for our opener here on Prime Network, as it is Albany to take on the New Orleans Knight here in Albany. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment.
Only need to share it. Contact the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Punk rock? Classic rock? Bedrock? Classic rock? Scotch on the rocks? Classic rock? Moon rock? There's all kinds of rock. But in Southern California, there's only one classic rock. 97.1 KLSX, the classic rock station.
Hello, this is Milt Wirtz in the lab. Research indicates that we Americans create garbage at an alarming rate. To alleviate disaster, I have come up with a solution. Worms, garbage-eating worms. This subspecies can go through a pound of garbage in no time, and I've got bigger ones out back.
There's an easier way to save the world. Recycle. For your free recycling action guide, write Recycle. Environmental Defense Fund, 257 Park Avenue South, New York, New York.
Welcome back. We're set in the blue to kick off the hometown Albany Firebirds here in Arena Football against the expansion New Orleans Knights, their first game. And to kick it off for Albany will be Gary Gooseman, 5'10", 170, out of Miami of Ohio University. Deep to return is Milton Barney for the visiting Knight. Remember, off the net, it is in play, and that's a live football. It is taken and brought down at the 1-yard line. And Mosley makes the tackle. Merv Mosley on the play. Receiving the football was Culpepper, And he was hammered at the 1. Here's the starting quarterback for New Orleans, Willie Totten. Mark Mason, the fullback. On the line, big man Walter Hausman, Don Thompson, Glenn Hazley is the tight end. Wide receivers, McIntosh. And we'll complete the rest in a moment. First and 10 from the 1. Totten back to pass. Going deep, and it is intercepted by Mosley. He takes it back to the 24-yard line, and it's Albany football. We were told before the game by Harold Jackson, the offensive coordinator for New Orleans, that they would go on top early, and that's what they tried to do.
That's exactly what they tried to do. Willie Totten thought that they were going to play man-to-man bump and run, and as a result, they backed out and went to a zone. And Willie Totten just laid it up, and as a result, Marv made a big interception for these guys. Here it is again. He dropped back. He threw it up. He just threw it up for grabs. As a result, Marvin was in deep zone, and he made the pick and made an excellent play and a pretty good run afterwards. And as Albany comes up to run its first play from scrimmage, a flag is thrown before they could snap the football. So let's take a quick look now at Albany and how they organize themselves. Quarterback is Tom Porras. 6'3", 207 out of the University of Washington, a veteran of the CFL. In the backfield alongside, fullback is Alvin Blunt. He's a bruiser. The offensive line, Sylvester Bembry, no more for his defense. Porcelli, and alongside Chuck Harris, who's listed as the tight end. The wide receivers, Merv Mosley, who had the interception. Kurt Reed, an outstanding player. And we'll pick up the others in just a moment. First down after the penalty that puts the ball in New Orleans territory. And here's the first sack of the ball game as well, as Hausman comes in to nail Porras on the play, and a huge loss for the hometown Firebirds. Yeah, Walter Hausman eased on through there. He beat the block and got to quarterback. Quarterback wasn't looking downfield. Here you go. He drops back. He takes a 5-step drop. He fakes the pitch, and he's looking for the receiver, number 27, breaking across the field. And as a result, Hausman makes a big play.
Second down and 15 from the 19-yard line of Albany. No score. We're just underway. 13:03 to go. And on the draw play, ball carrier tackled by Hazley as Blunt is brought down at the 24. Picked up around 5 on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 10. Let's take a look at the defensive starters now. As you look at the New Orleans night, Hausman, Thompson, and Hazley, the linemen. The linebackers are McIntosh and Mason, and Milton Barney, one of the defensive backs. The specialist who play defense only, Robert Goins, who comes in on the kick and on the turnovers. Jackie Cooper out of Gretna, Louisiana. 3rd down and 11. Flag is thrown. It is complete. Touchdown if it stands. Gales on the reception, but let's see if they bring it back.
Looks like holding over there. Oh, I don't know.
It goes against the defense, and Albany is on the board. On a 3rd down and 11 play, the officials meeting here to make sure they've got all their ducks in a row. You see the call, legal procedure against the defense. It will stand, and Albany is on top 6-0 on their opening possession. They did it by capitalizing on the turnover.
Yeah, they went to their big play receiver, Fred Gales. Coach Buffington said that this is going to be the guy to make the big plays for him. And as the first play on that turnover, they went over the top on a post pattern and hit Fred Gales right on stride.
Here's Guzman for the point after. 48 points a year ago. He was 18 of 21 in extra points. Remember, with the 8-yard deep end zone and just 9 yards width of those goalposts. Guzman's kick hits the crossbar and comes back. Now it is not in play on an extra point. And Albany has taken a 6-0 lead with 12:03 to go in the first period. Stay with us. More of Arena Ball coming up in a moment on Prime Network.
Stay ahead of the pack. This weekend, NASCAR gives you the chance to talk with your favorite racers, from Darrell Waltrip to Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Rudd to Ken Schrader.
And this week, Darrell Waltrip will be joining us as NASCAR heads west to the 12-turn road course. Join us from Sonoma, California this Thursday.
This weekend, NASCAR, live from Sonoma, Thursday night at 11 Eastern on Prime Network.
Do you need a car? Listen, each year government agencies auction, sell, and liquidate thousands of cars and trucks, and the bidding starts as low as $30. Government vehicles, luxury cars taken from drug dealers, criminals, and thousands more seized, repossessed, sold through bankruptcy proceedings. Now find out how you can grab the car you want at government liquidation and bankruptcy prices. Bid as low as $30 for Porsches, Mercedes, Ferraris, Corvettes, family cars, and trucks. Find out how to get the car you want now. Call 1-900-847-4800. That's 1-900-847-4800. Just $2 a minute.
We're back as Gooseman prepares to kick it off. Here's again a look at that touchdown play of 27 yards to Gales.
Yeah, Fred Gales had Milton Barney on one-on-one situation, broke to the post, and as a result, it was 6 points.
Gales out of Western State in Colorado, 14 receptions a year ago for 245 yards. And it's 6-0 with 12:03 to go in the first quarter. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, we just had a couple of quick possessions. Well, the clock does not stop in arena football, and that is one of the great things about it. It is a hurry-up, hectic pace. It's almost like a 2-minute drill the entire game, Tony. It only stops the final minute of each half.
Well, it is a fast-paced game, and the key to this thing is endurance. You have to be in great shape in order to play in this game.
Gooseman's kick. Barney is deep, and he puts it right through the uprights. And Barney brings it out, but that ball will come out to the 5-yard line as a touchback. But when that thing goes off those nets, if you're a receiver, you don't worry about that whistle. You just take it and run, and the officials will blow it dead if they find it necessary.
Well, they're playing heads-up ball. There's one thing about that net. You never know what's going to happen. Milton Barney on the first occasion lost that ball, and as a result, they had poor field position.
And now, again, look at the remainder of the receivers for New Orleans. McIntosh, Milton Barney, and Willie Culpepper are the wideouts to go along with Hazley, the tight end. 1st and 10 from the 5 for the night. Totten going for the deep ball again. It's complete, and it is down at the 15, maybe the 14-yard line, and a tremendous pass by Willie Totten as Garland Rivers was beaten on the play, and Totten showing that he's not gun shy, even though he was intercepted a moment ago.
Well, as you mentioned, Coach Jackson said they're going to go. They're going to test, and they're going to go over the top. We're going to have a look at it. They're playing man-to-man, Rivers and Barney over there, and the ball just thrown over the top, and Culpepper makes a great over-the-shoulder catch. Good hand-eye coordination.
And a 36-yard pass play to make it 1st and 10. The ball just inside the 14-yard line for Totten in the ninth. They're trailing 6-0 with 10:47 to go. Mason jitterbugs and is brought down at the 13 by Pete Porcelli. 6'1", 260 out of CW Post. And here is the rest of the defensive starters. Bembry, the best in the league according to his coach Rick Buffington, joined by Porcelli as well as Harris. The linebackers are Blunt and Gales, and the defensive back Mosley, the defensive specialist. They come in Darrell Hammond, an outstanding athlete from Center Cross, Virginia, and Garland Rivers, the one-time University of Michigan All-American, played with Detroit. Now here with the Firebirds. Firebirds lead at 6-0. It is 2nd and 9. Totten. And it is complete to the 5 and down inside the 4-yard line. A great reception by Milton Barney from Alcorn State.
What a good thing about this game, Milton Barney just got beat on a play, and he gets an opportunity to come back and beat somebody else. Great hand-eye coordination. And another interesting observation, Milton Barney is the nephew of Lem Barney for the Detroit Lions, the famous defensive back.
And Barney showing he can take it offensively as it's a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, and the Knight with a chance to tie this thing up here in the first period on their 2nd possession. Totten, who calls his own plays, by the way, which is unusual at any level of football, hands it off, and the ball carrier Mason is stopped after getting just about a half-yard by Blunt and Gales inside.
Well, that's good feeling by that linebacker. He came right in there and made that play. Excellent play.
Firebirds 3-5 a year ago, tied with Pittsburgh for 4th place, lost out on the playoffs on the tiebreaker procedure. Of course, Detroit went on to win it all, their 3rd straight title, and the drive opened up the 91 season with a convincing 31-13 victory over Denver last night, blowing up the Dynamite. 2nd down and goal for the Knight. They trail 6-0. And in motion, the looping motion is Barney. Here's Totten. Found his man and touchdown, New Orleans. McIntosh with a touchdown reception, and we're even at 6.
Jerome McIntosh has the most experience out of all these receivers. Here he is right here. He's running a crossing route. He just takes a couple moves and breaks across the screen. You'll see him. Willie Totten puts it right on the money. One of the Willie Totten's great ability is to put the ball soft. He has the ability just to lay it up there, and that's what it takes to be a good quarterback in this league. As you see McIntosh is going across the field for the easy 7.
Here's Morales, veteran kicker, for the extra point. It is true. No flags are thrown, and just like that, New Orleans has come back to tie and take a 1-point lead with 8:10 to go in the first quarter. McIntosh on the 1-yard TD. We'll be back for the kickoff in a moment.
In a pro football league that throws the football 70% of the time, having the best throwing football available is critical. That's why Arena Football has switched to the outstanding new Spalding Ironman football. The Spalding Ironman features an innovative new spiral balance system that counterweights the lace, assuring a perfect spiral when properly thrown. Spalding is proud to be the official football of Arena Football, the 50-yard indoor war. Throw a perfect pass with the Spalding Ironman football. Arena Ball. An indoor war on the floor. High scoring. Hard hitting. Ironman football. To get closer to the action, you have to suit up. Arena Football. Orlando and Detroit this weekend on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
Welcome back to Arena Football on Prime Network. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you in Albany. And the hometown Firebirds on the short side now as New Orleans coming back, leading at 7-6. And Morales is ready to kick it off now. Marco out of San Diego State, 6-footer, booms it. And Gales bobbles the football, brings it out. 5, 10, 15, and upended. And folks, when there's only 8 aside, you make 3 or 4 miss here, your chances are pretty good of going a long ways. Well, as he brought it out almost to the 20-yard line, Tony.
As they said, Gales is a big play receiver. He ranked 4th in the nation in punt returns and 10th in the nation in kickoff returns in 1987. So this guy's capable of taking anything a long way.
I was in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, Western State. Played with Denver in '89 here last year, and he had the opening score on the long TD pass from Porras. Porras and company ready to go on 1st and 10 as the ball is marked at the 18. And it is complete to Mosley. He gets to midfield and bumped out the door as Goins makes the tackle. Robert, 6'3", 210-pounder.
Well, what Albany tried to do, they just ran a quick hitch pattern. As you'll see, Tom Porras is looking downfield. He takes a 3-step drop. He stops. He fires out here. The receiver gives a move, and as a result, he is smashed into the wall. And that's why they call this arena football. You either hit somebody or you get hit in this league.
And you don't go hunting that sideline for any relief in this game. You're liable to go right through it. Porras on 2nd and 4. And it is complete across the middle for a first down as he gets it down to the 16-yard line of New Orleans, where Barney makes the tackle. Kurt Reed out of Millikan College in Decatur, Illinois, makes the reception. He was drafted by the World League of American Football's Frankfurt franchise.
Porras came right back and they ran the same route, a 10-yard hook, and this time he hit Kurt Reed on the reception.
Porras is quite a character. He's got more than one job. He puts on camps for youngsters to teach them how to become better quarterbacks. He's also known as a singing quarterback. He's a nightclub performer. On the first down carry, right up the middle is Alvin Blunt. He is upended by Goins on the play, and now a little fisticuffs as Blunt got into it a bit there with Goins after the tackle.
Here's a look at it. What we're getting a chance to see is a draw play. The quarterback sets up like he's going to pass and hands off to Alvin Blunt. Uses great footwork and he breaks out. This guy has a lot of potential. He runs about a 4.3 40, and the only time I've ever seen a 4.3 is on somebody's back. That's running, folks.
Porras brings him out. There's Blunt. It is 2nd down and 3 now. The ball just inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Albany down by 1. A little quick look out. Reed takes it. Now remember, in this arena game, if he is able to brace himself with the boards and keep his feet in bounds, he is still a live man and is still able to continue to go forward. You can actually use that wall to bounce off of as long as you keep your feet in play.
And the sideline can be an element of surprise on a guy. You can think he's going out of bounds, hit that sideline, just hit that board and break right back into the field and an opportunity to score. You gotta watch. You gotta be on your P's and Q's at every moment of this game.
They got the first down, and it's first and goal at the 6 for Albany. 5:07 to go in the first quarter here at Knickerbocker Arena. Holds better than 13,000. Good crowd on hand here for the season opener. Reed takes it down to the 1, fumbled the football. Was the play whistle dead? I believe it was, as Barney made the tackle. Coming up with the recovery that time for New Orleans was Jackie Cooper, but it is still going to be Albany possession. Firebirds will keep the football. One more look at it here, Tony.
Here's a look at it. It's the same play they ran to the opposite side. A quick slant pattern by Reed, and I guess Coach Bovington believes in success. If it works once, we'll try it again. And they ran the same route, a quick out to Kurt Reed, and as a result, set up a first down.
Well, Albany on the keeper, Porras. No signal yet. Only the players signaling as McIntosh met him at the goal line. It looked like he would get in, not easily, but forcibly, but he comes up short, and it's 3rd and goal now.
For you college fans, that's your typical wishbone veer play. That play was designed strictly for the quarterback. He faked the handoff and just run to the weak side.
3rd and goal. 3:55 to go in the first period. 7-6 New Orleans. Albany with the football trying to go on top. And Porras does it himself this time and gets in the end zone. So Porras with a 1-yard plunge. And Albany back on top 12-7.
Porras showed a little bit of strength over here as he ran over Jerome McIntosh for the score. And as I said before, this is the same play as he did last time. This is a veer play designed for the quarterback to score.
3rd score in the first period is Porras. Well, he's done what they asked him to do, get that offense going here in Albany, as they struggled last year when they had the football. But new offensive coordinator, Mike Hohensee, new quarterback, and things are looking bright. This one by Guzman again goes off the bar. So he's 0 for 2 here in the season opener. But Albany is back on top by a nickel, 12-7. We'll be back with the kickoff in just a moment.
If you've been looking to buy a new car, this may be helpful to know. The Honda Civic Sedan is the best overall value in its class. Of course, if you already have one, you've probably figured that out on your own.
Beauty, I love the color, I love the tires. Look at my car, there it is again. Oh, it looks so big, it costs so little. Somebody pinch me. So cute. Oh, I'm gonna call my friends. Come on, let's carpool.
New Orleans trailing Albany here in Albany, New York. There's our time remaining in the first period. Firebirds 12, Knight 7. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you. And boy, you talk about action. We have seen it nonstop from the opening whistle.
Oh, plenty of it. And you know, the good thing about this game, these guys are playing for the love of it. They're not playing for the money. They just enjoy this game, and it exemplifies itself on the field. And that's an attribute to these guys out on the field.
Veteran players are in Albany getting $500 a game with a victory, $100 bonus. $400 to your first-year players per game, 300 of those inactive. So you better like it and enjoy it. And they do. There's a lot of guys who keep coming back. Guzman's kickoff. Culpepper, the deep man, leans, makes the play. Was he out of bounds? Yes, he was, as a flag is thrown. And that ball is going to come to the 20-yard line. An emphasis is put on the ball staying in play and returning kicks in this league, and that's one of the things I think is great about arena football. If you kick the ball in that case out of bounds in the end zone, then a ball comes out to the 20-yard line. That's a huge, huge penalty. In fact, Rick Buffington said it might be the most painful penalty that you receive because this is like coming out to the 40 in a regular football game.
It most certainly is. It can be detrimental to a team. It gives the team an opportunity with great field position to take advantage of.
Let's see if Totten and company can bounce back. The Knight intercepted on their first possession and then scoring on their second. They now trail 12-7 with 2:33 and running here in the period. It is complete to Culpepper. Nowhere to go with that great speed that time as they closed in quickly. Slayton made the tackle that time.
Well, what they did, they ran a route. They had a man in motion, and Culpepper ran about a 7-yard turn in, and Willie Totten put it right on the money.
Totten, 6'2", 203-pounder, came to this ball club in a trade from Orlando prior to the start of the season. And Kayat wasn't sure that Totten wanted to play. When he found out he did, he said, "You don't need to go down there. You can play right in your own backyard." This one out of the reach of Culpepper. As Slayton was covering on the play.
Willie Totten wish he could have that one back. Culpepper ran the same route, a 10-yard hook pattern in front of the defensive back, and he should have completed this pass. I bet he'd give anything to have that pass back.
3rd down and 6 coming up for the Firebirds. 3rd and 6. Check that for the Knight. Firebirds on defense. Totten, and he completes it. Should have the first down, maybe not. Let's see where they mark the forward motion. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 19-yard line, and that'll be good enough as Darrell Hammond made the tackle.
Here's a replay. There's been a change in the defense. The Knights are taking advantage of the short stuff. Albany was playing man-to-man, but they backed off into a zone. As a result, the Knights are just taking advantage of what Albany gives them. The quick hitch pattern, the quick curls, and the quick sidelines.
Marvin Cephas, the receiver on that play. Biscuit, as he's known by his teammates. There's a whole slew of nicknames in this league we can get into later.
Yes.
Cephas in motion, and the pitch out goes to the fullback, and nowhere on a 1st and 10 for Fields. Troy Fields out of Nicholls State was hammered by Garland Rivers, and Coach Rick Buffington told us Rivers is a big-time hitter.
He said Garland Rivers is the hardest hitter in the league. He led the league in tackles last year, and as a result, you can see that this guy can hit. He came to play.
And a personal foul is called against New Orleans, and then offsetting penalties as the crowd roared when they saw the opening signal that the first one was against New Orleans, and then when the official gave the same side to the Firebirds, you heard the reaction. Take a look at the hit here.
This is what you call rifle defense, is when the cornerback comes up and stops the pursuit. And as a result, Garland came in there and made a heck of a hit.
2nd down and 11 from the 20-yard line for New Orleans. 12-7 Firebirds of Albany on top by 5. 13 seconds remaining. Ball is tipped, nearly intercepted, intended for Cephas, as Neal was the man that got a hand on the football. And that's the end of the first quarter. What action here in arena football. The 50-yard indoor war has been just that, as Albany has a 5-point lead after one period. It's 12-7 Albany over New Orleans. We'll take a break and be back with more from here at Knickerbocker Arena.
In Australia, there's wild beaches, the outback, and Aussie rules football. Full-out, full-blown, full-contact football. The hardest hits, the awesome kicks, and the man in white. There's nothing like it. Australian rules football. It's a kick. Friday afternoons at 5 on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
Do you need a car? Listen, each year government agencies auction, sell, and liquidate thousands of cars and trucks, and the bidding starts as low as $30. Government vehicles, luxury cars taken from drug dealers, criminals, and thousands more seized, repossessed, sold through bankruptcy proceedings. Now find out how you can grab the car you want at government liquidation and bankruptcy prices. Bid as low as $30 for Porsches, Mercedes, Ferraris, Corvettes, family cars, and trucks. Find out how to get the car you want now. Call 1-900-847-4800. That's 1-900-847-4800. Just $2 a minute.
Don't take a back seat for this one.
forest fires come from?
If you were at the beach or out of town Memorial Weekend, here's good news. Arnold's Furniture's gigantic Memorial Weekend clearance sale continues for one final weekend. Everything in all Arnold stores is up to 50% off. Thomasville, a special purchase. Select Thomasville bedrooms a full 38 to 42% off. Plus America's largest selection of imported Italian leather furniture, 30 to 60% off. No monthly payments for 6 months. Hurry, it's this weekend only. Sale ends Sunday 6 p.m. at all Arnold stores.
Paris in the spring. You'll have a ball, also a racket. Live coverage of the French Open served up from Paris, France, exclusively on ESPN. We'll satellite you to the court where a champion will emerge, where one name will be engraved in history. Look at all the aces on ESPN beginning May 27th.
Look at all the things we are.
On Southwestern Cable TV.
Football, the Prime Network game of the week is Albany has a 5-point lead, 12-7 over New Orleans here in Albany. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you. And if you think 12-7, a lot of scoring, well, really, it's kind of typical of arena football. Last year, the average point total for a game was 67 points combined for the two teams per game. So it is an exciting, offensive-minded game. Totten and company with a third down now and 9 at the 20. Across the middle, incomplete as Rivers gave a hammer to James Young. The one-time LSU wind up.
It's good defense by Rivers. He's following stride for stride. Totten put the ball up, and Rivers made the play. Here's a look at it. The receiver at the top, James Young, runs a post pattern. Totten steps back, and Rivers is right on him. And as a result, he makes the play. Great play, and Rivers is known for his hitting.
Field goal attempt coming up. Marco Morales will set up for a 38-yard attempt. 8 yards deep in the end zone are the goalpost here, and it's a 38-yarder. Kick is up, certainly long enough, and it is good. So Marco Morales gets the field goal, and as a result, the New Orleans Knight comes back and makes it a 12-10 ball game. The Knight back within a pair. We'll be back with a kickoff in a moment.
Arena ball. An indoor war on the floor. High scoring. Hard hitting. Iron Man football. To get closer to the action, you have to suit up. Arena football. Orlando and Detroit this weekend on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
12-10 our count now. Albany on top by a deuce with 14-12 to go here in the first half. And Albany will get its hands on the football again. And it's exciting to quarterback Tom Porras as he is off to a sensational start in his debut as a Firebird signal caller. Morales hitting the 38-yard field goal. And it's 12-10. Firebirds on top. Here's Morales' kick coming. And it is taken and brought out to the 5 and hit hard at the 5-yard line. Good coverage that time for New Orleans as Kurt Reed carrying the football, brought down by Walter Hausman.
I think Kurt Reed will learn that this game is north and south and not east and west. In this type of game, you can't afford to go sideways or you will not be able to remember the next day.
All right, let's see what Porras and company do. I know what I do. He's 5 for 5 for 50 yards and 1 score already. Put it up again. What do you think? Coach Hill?
Coach Hill, I think they'll do the same thing. I think they'll go underneath right now.
Porras inside the end zone. Got a man open. That's Tom. And the big play is complete inside the 15 down to the 10-yard line. Jimmy Young beaten on the play. Steve Tom, the veteran wideout from Wheaton, Illinois.
Here's Ton. Ton's in motion. He runs a post pattern. The receiver number 7 in the front of our screen runs a hook to bring the defensive back up, and they go right over top of him. Great executed play.
Ton's an interesting story. 3 sports star in college. Was an assistant basketball coach at Wheaton College. Lost that job when the head coach was let go. Not quite sure what he'll be doing coaching-wise when he returns. But he's back here for arena football. 5'9", 175-pounder, and it's 1st and 10. Complete at the 5 and inside to the 4-yard line. And a penalty flag is thrown as Fields and Cephas make the tackle on the play. As Hammond is brought down, the first reception for Darrell Hammond out of Virginia.
What both teams are doing, and especially the Knights, both teams are running patterns in the flat. As a matter of fact, here's a great execution of what's going on. Albany quarterback drops back to receiver. The receiver runs him out to play. And here's a late hit. Spearing in the back.
So that takes the ball on the penalty. Inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. Half the distance to go and a first down. First down and goal to go now for the Firebirds. They lead at 12-10, 12:42 to go. Hammond on the looping motion scores. Flag thrown after he got in the end zone. Goins made the tackle. We've got holding, though, against Albany. It'll come back. They told us Hammonds was a good athlete. Expected to see more of him defensively, but he's shown he can catch the ball and here he can run the ball.
He sure is. He's a big guy, about 6'3", 220 pounds. The coach talked about his defense ability, but he shows that he can catch the ball and he can run with it also.
Of course, Hammond, take a look at him here. We'll see for the hold call. It comes back, and it'll be a second down now. The ball moved to the 7-yard line. Second and goal from the 7. Horace looking for Hammond right through his fingertips, but I believe the defender Young got a touch on it. Tough to make that kind of grab, isn't it, Tony?
That's a tough one. Hammonds ran, and he was in motion. He came to the sideline. He had Young one-on-one. He broke to the sideline, and the ball just went through his fingertips. As you can see, this is Forrest's first incomplete pass. Looks like Young missed the ball, and Hammonds just dropped the ball himself. I guess he wished he'd have that one back also.
Well, Forrest is red hot, though. Can't fault him as he is putting it on the money. And Mike Hohensee, the one-time head coach of the Washington Commandos, now the offensive coordinator here. Well, he's got to be giving Rick Buffington, the head coach, exactly what he wants offensively. Crin across the middle, touchdown, Albany! Oh, mama, hold on. Hammond did that time.
That's what you get. That's what you say. Getting a chance to be the head of cost to be the boss. He dropped that one play, and he came right back and makes a heck of a play. Great hand-eye coordination. Watch this catch. He comes across, he goes in motion, the ball's thrown over the middle, 2 defenders on him, and he makes the catch. Hammond's in motion. You can see him come across the screen in the middle, in between 2 defenders, and he makes a great catch.
And Gusman will come on now for the extra point try. He has had the first 2 hit the post. Let's see if he can crack the middle this time. Rubert, the backup quarterback, holding, and it is blocked. You cannot come outside the end. You go up the middle to block kicks here, and that's what they did that time, as New Orleans has been successful in that area. Sims with the block, but just the same, Albany with an 8-point lead, 18-10, kickoff in a moment.
We all know how much fun playing the guitar can be, but until now, learning meant months of tedious lessons costing hundreds of dollars and getting limited results. Well, no more. Now you can learn to play any guitar in only 30 days. In fact, you'll actually be playing from the very first day, even if you've never held a guitar before. How's it possible? With the revolutionary Guitar Today video program. Rock, country, folk, pop, or jazz, you'll be playing guitar from the very first day.
When I first heard about the Guitar Today video, I was skeptical, but I tried it, and now I'm playing electric guitar in my own band.
I ordered the tape for my son, and he played his first song in only one day. Then my daughter used the program, and she did just as well. Now my husband is showing off with how well he plays.
Use your credit card and order your 2-hour videotape and instructional workbook for only $29.95 plus $3.95 shipping. Call now at 1-800-669-3737. That's 1-800-669-3737. Or send your check to the address shown. Sorry, no CODs.
Here's a look at the blocked extra point try. Sims is the man that comes up with it, Tony.
Yeah, Johnny Sims, he comes right over the top, puts his hands up and makes the play. Coach Buffington said that Coach Kayak said that Johnny Sims runs a 4.940. Now, that's pretty impressive for a guy 6'1", 287 pounds.
Played at Mississippi Valley. Of course, same school that produced Totten, the quarterback for New Orleans. But the quarterback tonight that's been the story has been Porras. Thrown for 2 scores, and he is lighting it up and has given Albany an 18-10 lead. The ball comes off the tee and will reset here. The Firebirds. And you might notice the uniforms look kind of similar style tonight. That is the bike uniform that has the Zuba stripes, as they're called. And I guess there's some teams in the league, we'll have a chance to see them all before it's over this year, that their entire pants have that look. So get used to it. Culpepper brought the ball, came it from out of the end zone, though, so it's going to be a touchback. It'll be a first down at the 5-yard line.
Well, Coach Buffington was talking about picking up that offense. They've most certainly done that. They averaged 22 points a game last year, and they've got 18 already here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, to give you an idea, and again, if you compare this to the National Football League, if you had a big night in the NFL, 500 yards of total offense, Ed Kayat, the coach in New Orleans, of course, spent so many years in the NFL, was once the head coach of the Eagles, you'd say you're excited. Well, cut it in half here because the field is in half. A 250-yard night of total offense is a sensational night in arena football. Trouble, and he is brought down. It's a safety. Blowing through on the play, Rodney Smith out of Towson State. And Albany's defense certainly hasn't let up at all.
Not a bit, not a bit. Albany's come to play. They've got a tremendous man at number 77, Sylvester Bembry on the line, but I have to say this gentleman made a heck of a play right there. He came straight over the line and made a big play. Rodney Smith, 6'1", 240 pounds.
You saw Bembry, 77, saying, just in case he's around, I'll finish him off. But Smith didn't leave any leftovers, did he?
What you saw was Bembry open up a huge hole by blitzing to the outside, and Smith just came right up the middle and made the play.
So with 9:21 remaining in the half, Albany tacks on 2 more on the safety by Smith tackling Totten. And we'll kick it off. As Gusman, been a busy man. Gales. But I beg your pardon, we'll check the receivers just a moment as Gusman. And it is brought out to the 5, 15, 20, and out to the 24-yard line.
That's Fred Gales again. Gales, as I mentioned before, is a heck of a runner when it comes to kickoff. He's number 10. He's ranked number 10th in the nation in kickoff returns and 4th in the nation in punt returns. So you got to like this guy. He's a big player, and Coach Buffington is extremely proud of him.
So Gales, great return out to the 24-yard line. And the Firebirds, of course, after the safety, they get the football back again. And a chance to tack on more. They lead it 20-10. And it is complete to Mosley. Mosley's the one that got this place roaring in the first place. He's tackled by Barney and Goins on that play. Mosley, who had 6 interceptions a year ago, second in the league, intercepted Totten's opening pass from the night. And then immediately Albany came back to score, and they kind of set the pace right there. New Orleans got a touchdown on its next possession. McIntosh to make it 7-6. Since then, it's been Albany with Porras on a 1-yard keeper, New Orleans with the field goal, and then Porras another touchdown pass to Hammond, and Smith getting the safety, and it's 20-10 with 7:36 to go in the half. That one incomplete, broken up by Cooper, intended for Gales.
Cooper made a very good play on that. They were in the zone. Gales ran an out pattern. Kurt Reed ran a post pattern. Gales elected to go to Gales, and as a result, Cooper made an outstanding play.
So we move to 3rd down and 5 at the 21-yard line of New Orleans. And your adjustments in this game have got to be made on the fly. With guys playing both ways, you just kind of hang on to halftime, I guess, if you're New Orleans right now. You're playing your first game ever. And in motion, Reed. Porras again, another nice throw, but just out of the reach of Mosley. Couldn't hang on, and Goins was there covering on the play, but Porras put it about the only place he could to avoid the interception.
I think it was a heck of a throw. heck of a throw, but Goins made an excellent defensive play. He had the receiver covered like a blanket, and that's the kind of way a defensive coordinator want to see your defensive back play a receiver.
Notice the clock does not stop in arena football till the final minute of the half. We're in the second period here. 20-10. Firebirds over the night. And the field goal attempt coming up. 37-yard attempt by Gussman, who's missed all 3 extra points. Missed 2 and had 1 block. This one is wide. Ball's in play. And is taken out to the 11-yard line. Bembry makes the tackle on Barney. And the Knight has the ball back. Here's Sylvester Bembry, all-league player. And again, a guy that Coach Rick Buffington wonders, why isn't this guy playing in the National Football League? He says he has the ability to do it. He's a great defender, and he said he's turned into a pretty good offensive lineman.
Yeah, he says he's built his whole team around Bembry. He led the league in sacks and had 2 safeties last year.
6 sacks a year ago. Buffington's so excited he says he'll double it this year with the extra game or 2 on the schedule and the fact that he's an improved player. 5:47 to go. First down, flag thrown.
One thing the New Orleans Knights are trying to do, they're trying to go over the top on every play. Coach Jackson and Coach Kayak mentioned that they would, but I think you're going to see a lot more passes underneath so they can set that long ball up again.
It's quite a staff that Eddie Kayat's got as you look at Totten's numbers. Kayat, of course, 34 years of professional experience, 24 as a coach, 10 in the NFL as a player. Played on a world championship team that beat Green Bay back in the '60 title game when he was at Philadelphia. And he's flanked by Harold Jackson, a great wide receiver for many years, and Brian Gardner, who's played in this league and knows this league inside and out as a defensive coordinator, and Kayat gives them a lot of credit. 5:22 to go. The ball is complete on first down as Barney takes it inside Albany territory before Mosley tackles him on the play at the 20-yard line.
And that was a catch by Milton Barney. He simply, here you go, he simply runs about 10 yards, breaks to the sideline, and Willie Totten puts it right on the mark. As I mentioned, I thought that they would probably try to go underneath so they can set up these big play receivers for the long ball.
And it's 1st and 10 at the 20 of Albany. And this is a big series, I think, for New Orleans. They need to get something going, establish some offensive momentum again, down 20-10. Totten, good protection, finds his man. Oh, mama, what a hit. A flag on the play as Mosley just about knocked the hat off of McIntosh.
Great catch by McIntosh, and obviously a great hit by Mosley. One of the worst feelings as a receiver is to get hit and not catch the ball, and that's why Mosley made a great catch.
Penalty is against the Knight.
McIntosh is running a crossing pattern, put it right on the money, and a great hit by Mosley.
So the call goes against New Orleans, and it will now make it 2nd down. The ball at the 20-yard line. 4:38 remaining here. Clock does stop on the penalties, so they reset things. Now they move back to midfield for the holding call, and it is 2nd down and 15 from midfield. Totten, this team trailing by 10. Going deep. Got a man. Touchdown, New Orleans. Oh, my, what a play. And was Barney wide open as he beat Mosley badly.
What they did, they sent 2 players in the flat, ran 2 short patterns, brought the safety up, and sent Barney over the top. Barney, his nickname is Slick, and maybe that's the reason he got so wide open. Here's a look at it. At the bottom of your screen, you see Barney run a post pattern, and Willie Totten puts it right on the money. As you see, all the other defensive backs are up close because they ran short patterns to bring these guys up.
25-yard strike is good. Now the point after by Morales, and he hits. So they pick up 7, and they cut the deficit to just 3. It's 20-17 after the big play. Barney taking it in on the long pass. We'll be back for the kickoff.
Stay ahead of the pack. This weekend, NASCAR gives you the chance to talk with your favorite racers, from Darrell Waltrip to Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Rudd to Ken Schrader.
And this week, Darrell Waltrip will be joining us as NASCAR heads west to the 12-turn road course. Join us from Sonoma, California this Thursday.
This week in NASCAR, live from Sonoma, Thursday night at 11 Eastern on Prime Network.
Hopes. Oh, forget it. Take a look here at the touchdown by Totten to Barney, Tony.
Yeah, as I mentioned to you, Barney just runs a simple post pattern. The other two receivers bring other defensive backs up. Todd throws the ball over the top. Great play, excellent touchdown. As you say, in this game, there is no time to slow down. This is what you call an Iron Man game. Wouldn't you say, Bill?
Yeah. And it's almost like basketball that when things are going well offensively, your defense picks up a notch because you're playing both ends yourself. And you see it here. Let's see how New Orleans reacts defensively now after getting another touchdown. Albany set to receive.
If you're talking about endurance, this game calls for a lot of endurance, a lot of agility, a lot of perseverance. It's a tough game, tough athletes.
Morales ready to kick it off. We have a chance here to visit in just a moment with Joe O'Hara, who heads up this franchise and is the league president. Ball is taken on the kickoff. And again, a nice run back by the Firebirds, as bringing it out is Freddie Gales. Jerome McIntosh makes the tackle at the 20-yard line. And Joe O'Hara, boy, you got him going here. This is exciting stuff here in Albany, and the fans are loving it.
Well, it's a great first night for us. We had a great night last year when we started out with a victory, and a lot more scoring tonight. Good game.
Got an interesting concept here in Albany where this is not your only franchise that you've got an interest in as an owner.
No, I've got several other franchises I'm involved with. 2 basketball teams, 1 winter, 1 summer, and also an indoor soccer league team.
First down and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line. Horace, who's been sensational, gets this one batted away, and it'll be second down and 10. I would have to guess, though, that this beautiful arena that opened up, what, just about a year and a half ago, this has got to be the highlight franchise for you with this Arena Football League team.
We draw as many fans for 5 games here as we'll draw all season for basketball.
Being the president of the league that Jim Foster has put together as a commissioner, you excited this year about the additional teams, the 3 expansion franchises?
Well, I think the key this year was we not only brought in quality teams, we were able to place them in parts of the country that gave us good markets, building blocks for the future.
Second down and 10. Horace going deep, got a man, and he can't come up with it. Barney was beaten on the play. Slayton, the intended receiver, he got by Barney. Looked like he might be able to come up with it, but one of the few times Forrest had been on target tonight, Tony.
Well, I'll tell you what, Forrest is doing excellent. He's making all the right keys. He's reading. The receivers are catching the ball. And you got to, when the receivers are catching the ball and the quarterback's putting it on the money, it's tough to cover these guys.
Bill Land and Tony Hill with you here as we talk to Joe O'Hara, the owner of this Albany franchise. And you got a football junkie for a coach. Rick Buffington is a great guy, and got to be excited about the work he's done here.
Rick did a great job in the offseason putting together a top-notch coaching staff to help him out. Our offense, as you've seen tonight, has improved greatly.
And on a 3rd and 10, they come up with a first down. Barney made the tackle, but Gales knew where he had to get to as he gets the 10 yards on the pickup just inside the 20-yard line, and that is precision offense on the part of the Firebirds. It'll be a 1st and 10 at the 20. Take a look at the total yards, and again, double this if you're looking at regular football, and it's been quite a first half with Albany at 124 yards, New Orleans 104. We've got 1:29 to go here in the half. Clock will start stopping with a minute to go. Horace complete, and a nice reception that time by Slayton as he got turned around by Barney, but he hangs onto the football, picks up 9.5 yards. It'll be 2.5 yard for the Firebirds, who lead it 20-17. Here's another look, Tony.
A great hand-eye coordination. They ran a pick play with Tony Slayton running inside route. He made a great catch, held on to the ball, and as a result, a first down, or a second down with a yard.
A timeout is called here by the Firebirds, and boy, you talk about teams using a breather. This is the first time they've had the chance to catch their breath all night. I think the arena football, when it's exposed to more people, Joe, around the country, it's going to be as big a hit as it has been here and in the current cities.
Well, we had a very good year last year starting out as a new franchise. Of course, you see we got a great crowd here tonight. We'll build up as the season goes along, and I expect that before the end of the year, we'll have this place completely sold out.
Do the fans, I wonder if the fans at home sometimes can really understand how close to the game you really are here. You can't see a football game like this in any other league.
Well, I think that's one of the things that makes it so attractive for an in-person crowd coming in to see a game like this, but also it's a great product to see on TV, as you can tell. The other thing that fans, you have to remember at home when you're watching the game, when you're trying to figure out where the out of bounds is, there is none. And that's very important to understand why this game is played the way it is.
I know my partner was saying, boy, I wish it had been like this in the NFL. He wanted to take some of those hits, didn't you, Tony?
I'll tell you what, this is a receiver's dream and a defensive back's nightmare.
Well, I look at it the other way. I always play defensive back, and I hated when those guys stepped out of bounds after they caught a pass. So this is an opportunity for a defensive back to square things up every play.
Watch out, Tony. He's on your backside.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got that defensive back mentality.
Likes to hit.
Likes to hit.
Following the timeout, 1st and 10. Tom, the man in motion. And it is complete to Gales inside the 10. He is bumped out of bounds, and the clock will stop now at 58.8 seconds. Clock only stopping in the final minute of the half in arena football. Jackie Cooper makes the tackle on the play, and it is 2nd down now, and goal to go.
That's a perfect example where the sideline can be very detrimental to a wide receiver. You get on the sideline, it usually is an opportunity for you to escape or make a move. But in this scenario, you have one way to go, and that's north and south, and the DB loves that situation.
Tom Porras out of University of Washington makes his home in Phoenix, Arizona. Hands off on the play to Rodney Smith. Smith, who scored earlier on a safety with a tackle, shows his offensive versatility as he carries the football, stumbles at the 6.5-yard line where McIntosh makes the tackle.
Well, one of the things Coach Buffington said, he said they were going to run the ball a little more. Ordinarily in this league it's 90% pass and 10% run. He said he was going to run it about 70% and pass 30. I mean, pass at 30%, pass 70%.
Pass 70, run 30. I know what you meant.
You got it over there, right?
Incomplete, intended in the end zone, and great pressure that time by Sims on the quarterback.
As I was saying, he's going to try to pass the ball 70% and rush 30%, and as a result, they've done a very effective job today.
Joe O'Hara's with us, the co-owner of this Albany franchise and president of the league, and I would guess that you see changes made by the coaches almost daily in strategy, don't you, as they learn the league?
Well, Rick, this year coming in as a second-year head coach, has certainly got a whole different approach on offense. Last year we ran a fairly unsophisticated offense that caught up with us by the end of the year, and certainly this year you're seeing a different offense.
Fans wanted some interference that time as Cooper was the man that made the play on time. How about the pressure here?
Well, Forrest takes a 3-step drop, and he couldn't have very much time to throw the ball. Number 87 comes in there and makes a big play on it.
Davis was the man that had the heat on Porras, and it'll be a field goal attempt now as Gussman comes on. Gussman had a rough night, hasn't been able to connect yet. This one a 22-yard attempt, and it is wide, and it comes off, and New Orleans will have possession inside the 10-yard line. Fans here angry about the lack of a call in the end zone on that previous play.
I think they're a little bit more upset at the fact that Gussman has missed 3 field goals.
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt in the home opener. What do you think, Joe?
Well, Gus has had a rough night, but you know, with kickers, that first kick of the night often tells what's going to happen the rest of the night. So when they miss that first one off the bar, you can know it can be a long night for them.
Well, and particularly, it's such a mental game, and those field goals, goalposts are so narrow that it can really play mind games with you if you get on a negative roll, which unfortunately for Gussman he is. 13 seconds to go in the half, 20-17, the Knight trailing, and Totten unloads. Oh, off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Culpepper. Rivers was covering and deflected the football, and Culpepper almost came up with a sensational grab.
Culpepper was wide open. Totten scrambled. He broke out the pocket. He let it go and just didn't get enough on it. As you'll see, Culpepper is about a couple yards behind these guys. Those are the ones receivers will die for to get a chance to catch that pass. Rivers makes an excellent play, outstanding play to come in there and break that up, and that's why he is what, quote-unquote, the hitter in this league or the defensive player in this league.
And you're never out of scoring range. 3.8 seconds to go. Here's New Orleans on its own 6-yard line, but it doesn't take a Hail Mary to score before the half here.
Well, it seems like they're all Hail Mary plays.
Totten throws this one deep, and it is incomplete to end the half. Joe O'Hara, thanks for coming aboard here, and we certainly appreciate all the help from your staff. You guys have been fine hosts.
Well, we've enjoyed having you here. We'll be around on a couple more games this year from our away games, and we're looking for the whole league to have a great year.
Best of luck with the Firebirds. Joe O'Hara, the co-owner of the ball club, president of the league. Our halftime score, 20-17. Albany will be back.
June is alive with pro sports on Prime Network. Live auto racing is here with 3 power-packed events. First, it's SCCA Pro Racing featuring the Trans Am Tour. Then the Grand National Driver Series follows a road course in Watkins Glen. NASCAR's best go to school to challenge defending champ Chucky Bound. Come indoors for bone-crushing body checks. Arena football is live every weekend. On the greens, Golf Week previews the U.S. Open live. Plus, European PGA action is headlined by the Dunhill British Masters. Then prepare for Albertville when the United States top players compete for gold.
Now for Amati. Here's McEachran. McEachran cutting in. Sean McEachran scores!
June is alive and exciting on Prime Network.
If your neighborhood's a little rough, don't get scared. Get organized. When neighbors and bullies team up, crime doesn't stand much of a... Yeah. So pick up a pencil and write this down. I'll show you how you can help me take a bite out of crime.
Cousins Warehouse is the source for photo appliances and electronics. At Cousins, it's simple. We sell dependability for less. Cousins has guaranteed everyday low prices on a wide selection of dependable Maytags, like this workhorse of a Maytag washer with large capacity and 3 wash temperatures, and this Maytag jet plane dishwasher with 3 wash levels and hard food disposer. Cousins Financing offers 90 days deferred payment at both Cousins locations near downtown and just off Miramar Road.
Cousins Warehouse, the source.
If you were at the beach or out of town Memorial Weekend, here's good news. Arnold's Furniture's gigantic Memorial Weekend clearance sale continues for one final weekend. Everything in all Arnold stores is up to 50% off. Thomasville, a special purchase. Select Thomasville bedrooms a full 38 to 42% off. Plus America's largest selection of imported Italian leather furniture, 30 to 60% off. No monthly payments for 6 months. Hurry, it's this weekend only. Sale ends Sunday 6 p.m. at all Arnold stores.
Welcome back to Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York. Arena football on Prime Network. We've got a dandy here at intermission. The New Orleans Knight trailing the Firebirds in the season opener as Albany on top 20-17 at the intermission. This is the opening weekend of the 91 season and the first of 13 telecasts here on Prime Network. We want to take this opportunity, look back on the 1990 season, and show you some of the outstanding individuals from a year ago. 1990 was Detroit Drive quarterback Art Schleister. Schleister was selected as the all-arena first-team quarterback as he led the league in passing with 1,714 yards and also in touchdown passes with 27 during the regular season. Schleister directed the Drive to the 1990 regular season title and their 3rd consecutive Arena Bowl championship. The 1990 Max Pro Ironman Award went to the Pittsburgh Gladiators' Thomas Monroe. The Max Pro Ironman Award is presented to the player who best exemplifies offensive and defensive two-way toughness on the field. Monroe led the entire league in pass receptions with 44 and ranked 4th in the league with 508 yards receiving. Monroe also ranked 2nd in kick returns with 32 returns for 552 yards, averaging 17.3 yards per return. The 1990 Kicker of the Year was Detroit's Novo Bojovic. Bojovic led the league in field goal percentage, hitting 32.1%. He was successful on 25 of 35 extra point attempts and led all kickers with 52 points, placing him 5th overall in league scoring. And the 1990 Coach of the Year was Ernie Stautner of the Dallas Texans. Last season, Stautner took on the task of building an expansion indoor football team in Dallas. He succeeded in leading the Texans to a 6-2 record and an appearance in Arena Bowl 90. For that success, he was voted the 1990 Arena Football Coach of the Year by his peers. And Ernie Stautner, of course, has moved back to the NFL as an assistant coach for the Denver Broncos. Tony Hill, our color analyst tonight. You know that man very well as you spent so many years with the Dallas Cowboys. He was on the other side of the football, but sure it's no shock to you the coaching job he did last year with the Texans here in Arena football.
Oh, Ernie Stautner is a great coach. As you know, he's a Hall of Fame player. He has the opportunity to be a great coach, and as a result, Arena football gave him another opportunity to get back in the NFL.
We've got a dandy here tonight. We'll take a brief break. We'll be back with more halftime activities here in Albany. The Firebirds on top of the night, 20-17.
Back when I played with the Orioles, I enjoyed being associated with baseball's best. I still do. That's why I'm signing a limited edition of these great baseball books from World of Baseball. And I'll be back in a minute to show you how to call for your own autographed copy.
It's 3-2, and it's him against you. It's the one and only. It's baseball. Enjoy all the greatness of your favorite game in an exceptional new library of fine books. World of Baseball. You'll treasure each hardbound edition of this magnificent series as you travel from the early days to your latest heroes. You'll get the game from all angles as the World of Baseball touches every base with memorable photography, fascinating stat graphics, and colorful writing that captures the game as never before. And you'll start right at home with the Sluggers. This first power-packed volume gives you a great look at the hitters through the ages, how they match up, their weapons, their swings, their secrets, their stats. From Cobb to Canseco, they all take their best cuts in the Sluggers. And by calling this toll-free number now, you can enjoy a free 10-day preview of this classic volume at no risk. If you don't agree the Sluggers is a hit, simply return it and pay nothing. Keep it and it's yours for the low introductory price of only $14.95. Other valuable collector's editions will follow every other month. You may cancel any time. Satisfaction guaranteed. Each edition is a collector's dream, containing almost 200 pages with over 300 pictures and superlative writing that includes personal memories and lively anecdotes from the game's greatest. Call now and start with a free 10-day preview of the Sluggers at no obligation. It's a free look at the finest baseball library ever published.
If you love baseball, call now and lead off with a big hit. A free 10-day preview of the Sluggers. Keep it, and I'll send you a personally autographed collector's edition of the Fielders. There is only a limited edition of these autographed copies, so call now. I hope this one's for you or a friend of yours.
Halftime coverage continues here on Prime Network's exclusive coverage of Arena football with the Albany Firebirds leading the New Orleans Knights by the score of 20-17. Of course, we'll be bringing you 10 regular season games this season, as well as the playoff semifinals and the championship of Arena football, the Arena Bowl. Since we're about 11 weeks away from Arena Bowl 91, let's take a look at what transpired last season in Arena Bowl 1990. A crowd of over 20,000 fans flocked to Joe Louis Arena in Detroit for Arena Bowl 90. It was the largest ever crowd for an arena football game in the league's 4-year history, and they did not come away disappointed. In a game that saw 9 Arena Bowl records fall, the 1990 version pitted the two-time defending champion Detroit Drive and veteran quarterback Art Schlichter against the expansion Dallas Texans and their coach, NFL Hall of Famer Ernie Stautner. The scoring came early and often as Schlichter scored on TD runs of 2 and 5 yards in the first quarter.
Schlichter keeps it in front. Touchdown! And Detroit jumps out on top here.
Followed in the second quarter by Reddick's 1-yard TD run and 11-yard TD reception.
He's got it. Running back. Reddick down. Detroit.
Giving the Drive a 28-point lead. But Dallas bounced back as Ward took it in from the 1. And Bennett hit Kenny for a 6-yard touchdown strike.
Bennett to the end zone. Touchdown. And Dallas was very much in this game. 8-track Kenny.
That closed the gap to 28-14. After a 42-yard field goal by Novo Bojovic, the Detroit Drive took a 31-14 lead into halftime. 15 minutes later, it all started again as Schlichter went to work hitting Mullen for a 37-yard touchdown.
Mullen has it inside the 10. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Detroit.
Schlichter sealed the win with a late 2-yard plunge and was named the game's most valuable player en route to Detroit's record-breaking 51-27 victory, giving them their 3rd consecutive Arena Bowl title.
We all know how
17 over the New Orleans Knight at halftime. Opening game for the Knight, an expansion franchise. This is the second year for the Albany Firebirds here in New York at Knickerbocker Arena. Welcome back, everyone. Bill Land alongside former Dallas Cowboys wide receiver for 10 years, Tony Hill. Take a look at some of the highlights. First off, New Orleans touchdown, and this was Totten going deep to Barney, the final scoring play of the half.
Yeah, Totten goes to Barney. Barney runs a deep post. Totten lays it up, and as a result, it's a touchdown. Great execution, great throw. It's a soft touch.
Here's the safety, and watch it. Smith comes blowing through here to get Totten.
What we experienced here is a linebacker blitz, and nobody picked him up. The back went in the flat, and as a result, Totten was all for Smith.
Albany has shown the ability to run the football here tonight at selected opportunities. This is a look at Hammond as he plows in.
Hammond makes a great run on this. He shows a lot of athletic ability. 6'3", 230 pounds, 220 pounds.
And we'll also have an opportunity to take a look at the statistics here in the first half. The big one, of course, the Firebirds lead at 20-17. They only trailed at 7-6 when McIntosh scored, and then they came back to take control of the football game. And you see the first down 7-5 in favor of Albany. Yards passing 132 to 103. Albany on top. Yards rushing, just 2 yards rushing for New Orleans, and total yards 147 to 105. We'll be back. Second half not far away. Hang in there with us. Firebirds lead at 20-17.
Back when I played with the Orioles, I enjoyed being associated with baseball's best. I still do. That's why I'm signing a limited edition of these great baseball books from World of Baseball. And I'll be back in a minute to show you how to call for your own autographed copy.
It's 3-2, and it's him against you. It's the one and only. It's baseball. Enjoy all the greatness of your favorite game in an exceptional new library of fine books. World of Baseball. You'll treasure each hardbound edition of this magnificent series as you travel from the early days to your latest heroes. You'll get the game from all angles as the World of Baseball touches every base with memorable photography, fascinating stat graphics, and colorful writing that captures the game as never before. And you'll start right at home with the Sluggers. This first power-packed volume gives you a great look at the hitters through the ages, how they match up, their weapons, their swings, their secrets, their stats. From Cobb to Canseco, they all take their best cuts in the Sluggers. And by calling this toll-free number now, you can enjoy a free 10-day preview of this classic volume at no risk. If you don't agree the Sluggers is a hit, simply return it and pay nothing. Keep it and it's yours for the low introductory price of only $14.95. Other valuable collector's editions will follow every other month. You may cancel any time. Satisfaction guaranteed. Each edition is a collector's dream, containing almost 200 pages with over 300 pictures and superlative writing that includes personal memories and lively anecdotes from the game's greatest. Call now and start with a free 10-day preview of the Sluggers at no obligation. It's a free look at the finest baseball library ever published.
If you love baseball, call now and lead off with a big hit. A free 10-day preview of the Sluggers. Keep it, and I'll send you a personally autographed collector's edition of the Fielders. There is only a limited edition of these autographed copies, so call now. I hope this one's for you or a friend of yours.
Judy. Welcome back to Knickerbocker Arena here in Albany, New York. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you. Second half, a few moments away from starting as the Firebirds lead it by the score of 20-17. There's a look at the New Orleans coaching staff. Ed Kayat on the left. On the right, Harold Jackson, the one-time great in the NFL, and then in the middle a moment ago, now longer in the picture, is Brian Gardner. And Kayat, a guy who, what a joy to deal with from a media standpoint. And you said you wouldn't mind playing for this guy because he is truly a player's coach. And he says, you won't see me on the sideline. I'll be behind those boards because the players are the ones that should start.
He said it's a players field. That's where the players belong on the field. He is a great coach, and you can see it in the players. You can see it in their eyes and the way that they're performing. They've got a lot of happiness and exhilarated in their faces, and they're looking forward to playing for this guy. There's nothing but positive things they say about him.
There's a look at Rick Buffington, and I told you he's a football junkie. He played minor league football for 17 different teams. Can you imagine that? And the stories he can tell. He's been a player coach. He's been a scout. He's spent NFL experience working for the Jets and the Patriots. Also in the USFL with New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Team with Babe Pirelli out in Denver with a dynamite here in arena football before he came here last year to become the head coach, and went 3-5 and sat around last night for a couple of hours and just we talked football and more football, and what a character he is. Very intense guy. And you mentioned to me earlier this afternoon, he says, I think he's got that L.A. Raider approach. He wants to intimidate you with defense.
Well, they've got a great defensive line, and they've got some tough, intimidating defensive backs. He's got to be extremely pleased with the way things are going. Mike Hohenstein has improved the offense at this present point. They've scored 20 points. They averaged 22 points a year last year, so he's got to be pleased with that.
And we're ready to go for the start of the second half as New Orleans will kick the football off here. We talked a lot about the walls and how they're basically in play as long as you keep your feet in bounds. And we don't want you to get too concerned about injuries. I don't think they've had many serious injuries because that is 3-inch thick of padding and plenty of padding. But just the same, you're running into a wall. I don't care how much padding it is. It just adds to the excitement of the game. And the kickoff from Morales taken by Albany, and this is Gales to the 10. Nearly had his hat taken off as he stops at the 11.5-yard line. Sims makes the tackle along with Fields, and Albany will go back to work, and let's see if Porras can pick up where he left off. And take a look again at the hit as Gales shows no fear. He got hit low and got hit high, was sandwiched on the play. And here comes the Firebirds now, and the offense with Tom Porras, the singing quarterback as he's known here in Albany for his nightclub act. He completes it to Mosley on a 1st and 10 play, picks up around 5 to the 16-yard line, almost 7, I guess, as they'll mark it there just shy of the 17. Goins makes the tackle on the play. And watch as Porras tries to avoid the hit and just missing it. Coming through the middle that time was Troy Fields, trying to put the pressure on Porras. And Porras has been taking a beating the last couple of times.
He's had a few problems on the last few passes, if you notice.
2nd down and 4. And across the middle, receiver drops the football. Was it a fumble or not? We'll have to wait and see as Barney made the hit on the play. Reed was the receiver.
Well, I don't know about this one. Reed took a heck of a shot. I don't know if he was down before he got hit, before he hit the ground.
They're calling it a completion, but not a fumble.
Reed ran a crossing pattern. Porras had plenty of time to throw the ball, and as a result, Reed paid a cost to go across that middle. And that's a tough catch. Here you see Reed. He takes a 5-step drop. He plants. He throws the ball across the field. And here's a tremendous lick between Barney and Slayton. And Jackie Cooper, just an unbelievable hit.
Yeah, Barney and Cooper really laid one on it. But it's a 1st and 10 now. He's juggling the football. Porras, loose ball down, and it is recovered. It's recovered by New Orleans, but
looks like McIntosh.
Let's see which way they rule it here. We had a flag thrown for a second. I don't know if that was to mark the point of possession. Sims had put the heat on him on the pressure. New Orleans not happy at all. They've just had 2 calls that appears go against them back to back. And the Knight trailing by 3 here as we start the 3rd period. So wait a minute.
Disregard the flag. 3rd down, Albany's ball.
Here's a look at the play right here. Porras never really has the ball at all, and Sims comes in and makes a big play. Looks like Albany recovered the ball.
Rodney Smith given credit for the recovery on there, but a huge loss.
Remember, we were talking about Sims. Sims is 6'1", 284 pounds, and he runs a 4.9 40.
Scoreboard shows 3rd down. Officially, though, I believe it is 2nd down here and 30. And they try to get it in one shot. Mosley got hammered into the wall and could not hang on, though. Goins there to make the play. A pair of 27s collided. And this one goes the way of the night, but a flag was thrown back near the line of scrimmage.
He got the double whammy there, Bill. You know, he got hit by Goins and he got hit by the sidelines, and all at the same time trying to catch the ball. That's where the sideline is an advocate or an advocate for the defensive back. Here, Porras sets up. He puts the ball a little short. Mosley has Goins beat. He's got to step on him. And there you see Goins just runs it right into the wall and he drops the ball.
Now the officials, they signaled third down, and New Orleans disagreed with that. There you see it, Kayet saying, now wait a minute, you picked the flag up on the one, and he's saying it ought to be fourth down.
Where have we seen this before?
Well, Prime Network viewers were entertained by the fifth down Missouri-Colorado game in Big 8 college football that became a national story and certainly had big-time implications. Well, we're not at the end of the ball game, but anytime a team gets an extra down, if that's what's occurred here, it's a big story.
But we'll have to remember, 2017 at that point in time.
Well, that time, Porcelli, the center, was hit before he ever snapped the football, and Porras is saying, now, wait a minute, I didn't get my hands on it. This one's got to be against New Orleans.
Well, I'll tell you what, the key to this game, as I mentioned before, is going to be consistency and turnovers. Early in the first half, we didn't see as many turnovers, and it was pretty consistent ball play. But now we're seeing a few errant plays, and this could make or break the ball club this afternoon.
3-yard penalty, still third down.
3-yard penalty, and still third down now. That's because it did occur before the snap, so don't worry, it's not 6 downs. we're still on third down.
Albany said going into this game, one of the things they want to do is improve their pass protection. And right now, we're seeing a few flaws in that pass protection. Porras is not getting the time that he had earlier in the game.
It's 3rd and 35 from the 5. Up the middle they go, and it is intercepted by Barney. And he takes it at the 15-yard line. So Milton Barney, who also has a TD reception, comes up with it. And Porras, who's had plenty of pressure put on him. That time, Davis and Sims came rumbling through. Take a look.
Here's the play. Porras goes, I think he puts this one up for grab. Gales is going deep, but the ball is clearly overthrown. And Barney, slick as he's known by, makes a great play. As I mentioned to you earlier, one of the key concerns with Albany is their pass protection, and Porras is not getting the time to throw the ball.
We'll take a break. Be back with more in a moment.
All-American, one company with a single focus on football. All-American is able to keep in sharp focus our 3 goals: to provide the very best at reconditioning service, the best new equipment products, and to provide the services and products more affordably than anyone else. For the 3rd straight season, the All-American Max Pro 2001 helmet is being worn exclusively as the official helmet of the Arena Football League. Max Pro helmets by All-American. Stay ahead of the pack. This weekend, NASCAR gives you the chance to talk with your favorite racers, from Darrell Waltrip to Dale Earnhardt, Ricky Rudd to Ken Schrader.
And this week, Darrell Waltrip will be joining us as NASCAR heads west to the 12-turn road course. Join us from Sonoma, California this Thursday.
This weekend, NASCAR. Live from Sonoma, Thursday night at 11 Eastern on Prime Network.
Welcome back to Arena Football on Prime Network. Albany with a 20-17 lead, 11:53 to go here in the 3rd period. Bill Antoni Hill with you as the visitors from New Orleans, the night with the ball. Willie Totten, the quarterback out of Mississippi Valley. He's a veteran of this league. Completes the pass on 1st down and picks up about 7 yards. Making the grab was Willie Culpepper. Fred Gales and Rodney Smith, the tacklers on the play.
Culpepper runs about a 10-yard curl. Totten puts it right on the money. As a result, Culpepper lost a few yards coming back. And I told you, in this game, to be successful, you got to go north and south.
Makes it 2nd down and 4. Ball at the 22. Going deep. Just out of the reach intended for Barney again. Mosley was covering on the play. Tony, we haven't had a chance to really get into as you look at the numbers for Willie Totten tonight of 8 of 15, 110 yards, and 2 scores and 1 interception, of the versatility that's required of these athletes and the ability mentally to forget a bad play so you can come back, whether it's defense or whatever else you got to play next.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of agility, ability, humility that's involved in this game.
Third down now. Ball deflected, nearly intercepted. That was Smith diving for it, whether with the deflection. And Gales who nearly came up with the interception.
Going back to that last comment you made, Bill, the mentality is very, very tough. We got a run back over here where Gales blocked the ball and was almost intercepted.
Here comes Morales for the field goal. Morales has hit earlier tonight. He boots this one, and it is good. So Morales hits from long range, and with that he ties the ball game. Our score is even at 20 with 9:52 to go in the third period. We'll be back.
In Australia, there's wild beaches, the outback, and Aussie rules football. Full out, full-blown, full-contact football. The hardest hits, the awesome kicks, and the man in white. There's nothing like it. Australian rules football. It's a kick. Friday afternoons at 5 on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates. Follow America's top amateur athletes all the way to Olympic gold on Prime Network. All summer, we'll canvass the nation looking for tomorrow's superstars. Experience the intense competition as these young sportsmen challenge the world with their talent. The excitement of track and field, the grace of gymnastics, and the fervor of swimming and diving. It's all here as Olympic hopefuls compete on Prime Network.
Marco Morales hits on a 44-yard field goal to tie it up. Earlier tonight, he was successful from 38 yards out, and all of a sudden the Knight, once trailing 20-10, has bounced back. We start all over here on the kick return, and Albany has had good success on the return. Not this time, though, as they get popped. Trying to bring it back was Mosley, and Barney hammers him at the 1.5-yard line. Prior to that, Albany had returned 5 kickoffs for 94 yards.
Here's a deflection off the screen over here that Albany can't get a hold of the ball, and the Knights come down here. Barnes makes a great play. His uncle Lem Barney has to be awful proud of his nephew.
The kicking game is so important again in arena football, like it is in any other sport, but in different ways. Here it's almost don't fumble it. Just catch the football, make the best that you can, but don't lose it with those nets keeping it in play. Porras completes to Reed. Near the first down, is stopped just shy, though, as Barney and Goins make the tackle. Kurt Reed out of Millikan College, small school in Decatur, Illinois.
I think that was a confidence builder for the ball club. Porras hasn't been getting very much time. This enabled him to throw a quick out, give Reed a chance to catch the ball and run with it.
Reed has spent some time in the Canadian Football League with Toronto. Also a tryout with Miami in the NFL. Played 3 sports in high school and was a high hurdler besides a football player in college. So, again, it shows the athleticism that is required to play in this league. You can't be a one-way guy and specialize. 20-20, 8:34 to go in the third. Flag thrown, and this one will not have a chance to develop as Porras will hold on.
You were talking about athleticism. These guys have shown a tremendous amount of endurance, a tremendous amount of agility. Being a wide receiver, have an opportunity to catch passes and enjoy that, you become very humble in this league. Very humble because once you catch a touchdown, you've got to come back to the other side of the field and defend somebody from scoring a touchdown and having the same pleasure that you have. Except for the quarterback.
Yeah, well, those quarterbacks, you got to take care of them, don't you?
We take care of them by catching the ball and getting the crap beat out of them.
All right, you saw the 3 yards of the penalty, and back on first down, incomplete. Barney, they're covering on Mosley.
Mosley just dropped that ball. It was a good pass. Porras took a three-step drop. They're trying to give him a chance to get the ball off and have a little time so that he can build his confidence up. And Mosley's got to make those catches for him.
2nd down and 7. The ball marked at the 15-yard line. Our score was 20-17 at the half, but Morales with a 44-yard field goal has brought New Orleans even at 20 here as we have 7:47 to go in the 3rd period. Man in motion is Reed. Porras complete to Gales at the 20-yard line. 2 yards shy, and again some extracurricular there. Cooper was covering on the play. See Sims getting in on some of the action, number 55.
On this play, Gales runs a quick out. Porras just puts it on. And I think Gales got hurt on this play. I think he got a groin shot by that hit right there. He went out that play.
There's Eddie Kayat. That guy's got the biggest cigar in the world somewhere hidden on him. We never saw him smoke it, though, today.
We never did.
What a delight. 6:57 to go here, and the end around comes around. Nice play. First down for Albany as Hammond is the ball carrier, and he takes it down to the 21-yard line in New Orleans territory before Fields makes the tackle.
Well, it's got to be a luxury to have a back or a receiver that's 6'3", 220 pounds and runs like this. He just on sheer momentum and good up-front blocking gains about 7 yards.
Mentioned he came to Virginia as a wide receiver, played at Ferrum Junior College, but with the great receivers they had at the University of Virginia, they asked him to go to defense. He said no problem, and was an outstanding player for the Cavaliers. 1st and 10 now. Porras hammered, but gets it off. Complete touchdown! Oh, what a reception by Tani, and what a play by Porras. Did he get hammered?
Oh, Porras showed a lot of ability, a lot of composure in that particular play.
Steve Ton gets a huge ovation for making the reception and the score, and Albany is back on top 26-20.
Ton has made some big plays today. As a result, on that particular play, the receivers ran a couple of receivers ran a few quick hitches. Ton went over the top. Porras put it right on the money, and as a result, it was 6 points.
21 yards on the pass play, and here's Gussman. The fans have been on him for his problems kicking. This one's good, and they love it.
How do you think Gussman feels now?
Oh.
Boy, the crowd is loving it.
27-20 Firebirds.
You've got to love arena football.
You told me about the great jobs in the National Business Employment Weekly.
And the help in landing them. And doing better on the job.
So I really owe my new job to you?
Well.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Get the National Business Employment Weekly at your newsstand or order by credit card and get 8 issues by first-class mail for $35. Call 800-342-4800. 800-342-4800. The National Business Employment Weekly.
Don't make a career move without it.
Here is Porras, and watch it from his side.
Ton goes in motion. Corner, the receiver runs a curl. Ton goes over the top. Excellent executed pass. Great concentration. The wall was no factor, and Barney got beat on that play. Great play, great execution. Coach Buffington's got to be pleased with the way his offense has performed today.
And Porras gets his 3rd TD pass of the night. Ton comes up with a nice reception. But the biggest ovation was for Gussman, who had missed a couple of field goals and had missed 3 previous PAT attempts. He's got this place rocking and rolling.
Gussman's got him doing the wave.
As Gussman boots it off, Culpepper is deep for the night. Culpepper, the 5, found a hole and brings it out to the 16. And New Orleans has struggled on the kick return game, so that's an outstanding return. They were held to 0 yards in the first half on the kick returns. 4 kicks.
Well, Culpepper's a real elusive runner. In college, he had 220 yards one game and about 5 or 6 touchdowns. So he's an explosive player, and you got to watch out for him.
That's the first time tonight that New Orleans has picked up yardage on the kick. And let's see what they do with this good field position. 1st and 10 from their own 15, trailing by 7 with 4:58 to go in the 3rd. Top. Culpepper couldn't come up with it. Rivers was there covering.
still be running, I believe. He had an excellent opportunity to take that and take it up the field.
In the defensive scheme of Albany, though, Rivers is known as a hitman. Hammond is their deep guy who is probably their best pure defensive back, is he not?
Yeah, but he's a hitter also. He's about 6'3", 220. Reminds me of that corner, that safety for the Philadelphia Eagles, Wes Hopkins.
Crowd roaring now for some defense. 2nd and 10 for the night. In motion, Young. Totten, Culpepper. Tried to get loose, nearly did, but is brought down at the 21-yard line by Alvin Blunt, 6'2", 210 out of Maryland.
Here's a look over here. Culpepper runs a 7-yard hook. As you see, the receiver's a hook. The ball's on the money. Culpepper tries to show a little nifty run in there.
Culpepper out of Southwest Louisiana, and the all-time leading receiver when he left the Raging Cajun program from Lafayette, Louisiana. Willie can fly at 4.34 in the 40. They didn't believe it when they first timed him. Totten, complete, got the first down. Just by a yard or so as he moves the football into Albany territory. Slayton, number 26, made the hit on the play.
Boy, it's a blessing to have speed. Here in arena football, we got a 50-yard field, and they're still giving Culpepper about 5-yard, 10-yard cushion. He's running a 5-yard or 7-yard curl, and Totten is putting it right on the money.
Culpepper. They call him Tommy Hearns. According to the New Orleans players, he's a dead likeness for the fine boxer.
He takes a punch a lot better than Tommy Hearns.
3:06 to go in the period. Incomplete. And did he hear that wall coming, or did he hear that defender coming? Because that one was intended for Cephas, and Hammond was covering. Blunt had put some pressure, though, on the quarterback, Totten.
Here's the advantage of a wall for a defensive back. Cephas clearly was wide open. He had a chance to catch the ball and run. He took his eyes off the ball, looking at that sideline.
2nd down and 10 at the 23 of the Firebirds. Albany on top by 7. New Orleans with Totten back to pass. Intercepted. Steve Todd. Take a look at the play. Ton, the big man again.
Well, I just wonder, can Ton do anything else today? He's caught touchdowns. He made tackles. Now he makes a big interception right here. And shows a little nifty running with that forearm there.
And there's Ton, who just scored a moment ago. Used to play for the Chicago Bruisers, and he's been bruising tonight himself as he's a veteran of this Arena League. And Rivers down with either the ankle or knee injury as time is called here.
One of the things that New Orleans are complaining about, they're complaining about Ton being out that imaginary zone. Linebackers are only allowed to drop back 5 yards, and they're not allowed to go any further as far as extending to the sideline than the defensive end. They're complaining he was too far out, and that's why he was able to make that interception.
It's a difficult call to make with the imaginary box, but those linebackers must stay home until the quarterback comes out beyond the end or until he releases the football. And usually the complaint from the coaches is that it's such a judgment call that that linebacker will cheat and anticipate the ball being thrown, and all he needs to do is to take off a fraction of a second early, and he can make that play. But some coaches have told us that it's almost impossible for that guy to get out there and cover the play legally.
It's either the receiver's fault or this guy broke too soon. And one of the things that people don't realize, this game takes a lot. There's a lot of strategy that's involved. It's not as easy as it sounds, or as the eye meets the eye, so to speak.
There's Ton's numbers tonight. Had the interception here. 14 receptions a year ago for 138 yards and 2 scores. And he's making it all happen here tonight. And let's see if Albany can take advantage of the turnover. This is how the game started when Mosley picked one off. They come back and complete it inside the 5-yard line. Young makes the tackle on the play, but Darrell Hammond, there he is.
How many times are we going to use Hammond's name? Here's Hammond. He's running a crossing pattern. You'll see underneath the receiver come across, and then you'll see Hammond come right into the screen. Perfectly executed pass, good concentration, first down.
Mosley intercepted Totten's opening pass of the game, and Gales came back on a 27-yard reception from Porras, and Albany set the tone for this wild affair tonight. It's 27-20 Firebirds now threatening again as they lead it. On the keeper, Porras scores!
Ran what you call a naked bootleg. He faked the toss to Mr. Hammons going across field, and as a result, he made the play. Here you go. He fakes the toss to Hammons, and he's out there all by himself, a naked bootleg one-on-one. He gives a old hip fake, and he makes it into the end zone as a touchdown. A great effort, a great one-on-one effort by Mr. Porras.
And now the big part is
here's Guzman. Guzman.
Yeah, you were saying earlier that he was Guzman to them earlier tonight as Guzman comes on for the point after he made the last one.
They're calling him Guzman now. He needs this one big time.
False start on the offense. So
offense is not making it any easier for him either, is it?
Well, no, and the thing is here, Tony, that in the National Football League or college football or whatever, you go back 5 yards, no big deal for the extra point. Hey, in this league, every yard back makes it all that more difficult because the goalpost only 9 yards wide to get it through.
Which is only half the size.
So, Guzman, it hit the bar again. It's the third time tonight that he's hit the bar. He's had one blocked, and his fans a moment ago let him know how they feel. 33-20, Albany's got the lead as Porras has put on a show. He has thrown for 3, he scored 2 himself, and the Firebirds are on top by 13. Here it is again.
I tell you what, he's got to have the worst luck. He's hit the bar 3 out of 4 times. You just can't miss it by such a narrow margin. Here's a bootleg, the fake option, one-on-one. He gives him a whole head fake. Rolls over to the end zone as a touchdown. Tom Porras is having a great game. You give him an opportunity to throw the ball, and he'll get the job done.
But be aware here with 11 seconds to go in the third quarter, how quickly things can turn around, and it's just a 2-touchdown game. And because of Albany going 1 for 4 in the point after category, if they're successful on 4, they're up 37-20, and now you're talking 3 scores. Instead, it's a 13-point game, and the situation would be 36-20 if they hit them all. But still, take 3 scores. Well, now it's just 2 scores for New Orleans to come back and go on top. Look at the floater from Guzman. Culpepper to the 10 and brought down hard as John Zinser makes the tackle as the third quarter expires. And Albany on top, a flag on the play. The penalty is on the man who made the tackle, John Zinser. Let's watch him.
Face mask.
We'll take a break. Back for the fourth quarter, 33-20, Albany.
Arena ball. An indoor war on the floor. High scoring. Hard hitting. Iron Man football. To get closer to the action, you have to suit up. Arena football. Orlando and Detroit this weekend on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
There are 4 absolutes that'll help you get the most out of your ability as a pitcher. Balance, direction, weight transfer, and deception. Each one of these 4 absolutes are discussed in length in a 1-hour video called Pitching Absolutes by me, Tom House. And here's how to order it.
Call 1-800-937-3366. Tom House, Pitching Absolutes.
If your neighborhood's a little rough, don't get scared, get organized. When neighbors and bullies team up, crime doesn't stay is. Yeah. So pick up a pencil and write this down. I'll show you how you can help me take a bite out of crime.
If you were at the beach or out of town Memorial Weekend, here's good news. Arnold's Furniture's gigantic Memorial Weekend clearance sale continues for one final weekend. Everything in all Arnold stores is up to 50% off. Thomasville, a special purchase. Select Thomasville bedrooms a full 38 to 42% off. Plus America's largest selection of imported Italian leather furniture, 30 to 60% off. No monthly payments for 6 months. Hurry, it's this weekend only. Sale and Sunday 6 p.m. at all Arnold stores.
Cousins Warehouse is the source for photo appliances and electronics. At Cousins, it's simple. We sell for less. Cousins has guaranteed lowest prices on fine Amana appliances, like this 17.7 cubic foot Amana refrigerator freezer with adjustable wire shelves and glide-out crispers. Or this Amana microwave oven with 600 watts and 10 Cookmatic power levels. Cousins Financing offers 90 days deferred payment at both Cousins locations near downtown and just off Miramar Road.
Cousins Warehouse, the source.
Rick Buffington looks on as we missed a play while we were away. Officially, the quarter didn't end because of a penalty at the end of the period. So they ran one play to complete the third quarter. It was an outstanding run by Mark Mason. And as a result, the New Orleans Knight is in Albany territory to start the fourth quarter. It's 1st and 10 at the 23 now of Albany for New Orleans. Welcome back, everyone. Bill Land and Tony Hill with you here on Arena Football on Prime Network. The 50-yard indoor war has been some battle tonight, and the fans that have shown up here are enjoying it. 10,189, the official attendance here at Knickerbocker Arena. The league average almost 10,000 a game a year ago, and with 3 expansion franchises, look for bigger and better things as this thing gets known around the country. And look forward to seeing how the folks in Columbus and Orlando, of course Tampa getting the Pittsburgh franchise, and enjoying all the action of arena football.
Oh, these fans are loving it. This is great to play in a situation like that. You got the fans pumping you up, backing you up, the adrenaline's flowing, and you guys are winning.
And New Orleans, of course, the other expansion franchise, they'll be home to host Tampa next week. Hope the folks in the New Orleans area get out and support the Knight. As Totten, the Knight quarterback, pitches it out here, and Porcelli and Harris make the tackle on the play, as again they tried Mason on the carry. It worked last time. They tried it again, and this time not nearly as successful. No gain. 2nd down and 10. Again, the ball at the 23.
And this league is pretty difficult to run to the weak side when you've only got about 5 yards and a wall and a defensive back to block to cover you.
Totten calls his own plays. They have an extreme amount of confidence. All 3 of the coaches for New Orleans shake their heads when they say they can't figure out how this guy is not playing in the NFL. They mean playing, not just making a club. Totten completes this one across the middle to the 15 as Marvin Cephas is brought down there after jitterbugging for a moment. Darrell Hammond makes the tackle. Cephas from Tulane, 6 foot, 188 pounder, 26 years old. Degree in sports administration for Marvin Cephas.
Cephas runs down here. He runs about 10 yards. He plants and he hooks. Totten puts it right on the money. Then you see a quick move here. But as he'll learn, and you'll all learn in this league, you can't go east and west if you're going to get in the yards. You got to go north and south. It's just too much pursuit.
Give you an update on one of our other games that'll be playing tonight in just a moment. 13:44 to go here. 33-20 Firebirds, but the Knight charging with a football down by 13, and Totten is brought down on the play. He got rid of the football, though, and slow to get up. Chuck Harris made the hit. There's Bembry, who was also in on the play, and Totten is hurt.
Yeah, Totten had plenty of time, and I think Bembry had him by the leg, and Chuck Harris got him in the rib.
While they tend to him, want to update you on the score. The other games tonight. Last night, first of all, Detroit beat Denver, the defending champion Drive, winning 31-20 over the Dynamite of Denver. 31-13, I should say. And then tonight, Orlando and Tampa. And what fun that ought to be with those 2 franchises going at it in Florida. And Orlando leads late in the ball game in the 4th period. The Predators, one of my favorite nicknames, over the Tampa Bay Storm, 45-30. Late in the game in that contest. Also tonight, Dallas is at Columbus as the Texans take on the Thunderbolts. We'll take a look here as Totten is up at the injury, see if we can find out exactly what happened.
Totten's looking downfield. He sits there and he plants and he sits there and he just waits a second too long. As a result, he ran into his own lineman, and now they're going for a field goal. It appears to be okay.
13:22 remaining, and here's Gussman for another field goal attempt. Time is called for a moment, though. Rick Buffington came onto the field. He wanted something checked, as Gussman will be attempting a 32-yard field goal. He's 0 for 2 in field goals tonight. He's 1 of 4 in PATs.
Invites all fans.
Timeout called apparently by Albany. I say Gussman, I beg your pardon. Marcos coming on for the field goal. A 24-yarder. Marcos has had a good night. Out of San Diego State, Chula Vista, California resident. Free agent with the Jets in '84, Seattle in '85. Has been around, all-league player in Arena Football League with the Denver Dynamite in '87. There's Totten. And one of the things that the coaches told us about him, Tony, is they say he's the toughest player in the team, mentally and physically.
And he leads by example. And that's what you need. You got to have a leader out there that leads by example. He's a tough player.
Expect to see Totten back. Youngster James Harvey backs him up out of North Carolina Central. All right, now Morales is set for the field goal attempt. 32 yards from the 24-yard line. 32 yards with the 8-yard end zone for Morales. He's hit from 38 and 44. This from 32. And it hits the crossbar and is brought down by Albany. It'll be a touchback, and they'll bring it out. So Morales unable to hit on this one, and it remains 33-20 in favor of the Albany Firebirds over the New Orleans Knights.
You got to wonder about these kickers. I mean, you're looking at a 9-foot goal, and these guys continuously hitting the crossbar. If they had an 18-yard goal post, these would be field goals. These would be good field goals. So it's pretty impressive. However, they're still missing this field goal that is costing their team points.
Talked about those Predators. You'll have a chance to see them here on Prime Network. Our next telecast, Friday night, 7:30 Eastern Time, as Orlando goes to Detroit to take on the Drive of Art Schleister, the 3-time defending champions. They go for the four-peat at Joe Louis Arena up in Detroit, Michigan. 12:55 and counting. Clock doesn't stop to the final minute of the game now, as Albany goes to work again. Porras completes it on the play. Cooper makes the tackle. On the reception, Darrell Hammond. Hammond, who's run one in tonight, been a strong defender, has shown the ability to catch the ball, and now they rule this as an incompletion. And they'll bring it back. 2nd down and 10 from the 5-yard line. Time for New Orleans to come up with a big play if they're going to get the momentum back in this one in the 4th quarter. Time ticking away.
Yeah, they need a big play. They need a score. They need a touchdown to get back in this game.
Porras from his end zone. Got a man wide open. Overthrows the wide open receiver, Hammond again. A flag thrown on the play. Cooper was the man that was beaten.
Boy, I tell you what, Porras would do anything to get this ball back. Hammonds came in motion. He ran a post route. Porras let the ball go, and he put too much air underneath it. Look, he had the guy beat by about 10 yards over there. That's a receiver's dream. Please give me that pass. Please, we'll do anything for that.
And the call goes against New Orleans. So it'll be 2nd down again and 7 following the 3-yard mark off. Porras, thrown for 3 scores, scored twice himself. What a debut for the former Canadian Football Leaguer. 6 years in the CFL, Hamilton, Toronto, and Calgary. Incomplete. Intended receiver.
Bunbury just laid somebody out after that play. You're talking about Iron Man. You've got to be in great shape to take a hit like that.
There is Bunbury. Sylvester Bembry from Central Florida.
Remember, Albany have built their whole... Look at this hit right here. And he just shrugs it off and runs back to the huddle. This guy's a defensive player running downfield. That shows ability and agility for a guy 6'7", 260, 70, 80 pounds.
His coach, Rick Buffington, says he's the best defensive player in the league. 10:33 and counting now. Albany wanting more, going deep. Todd with a great grab.
Tahn has found a home here in Albany. Here we go. Look at the pressure on the throw, but a great catch over here. Dived out, laid out. Excellent concentration. He held on. He just dropped the ball a moment ago. This is what you call mental toughness. And he comes back on the next play and makes a great catch.
There's Tahn, who's had a key interception, scored on a touchdown reception. He's owning the second half. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. 23-yard pickup on the play from Porras to Tahn. It's a pretty good combination here. Man in motion, and they keep the football this time as coming up with it. Smith, the ball carrier. Hazley makes the tackle, as well as Mason for the night.
An interesting observation in Arena Football League. Arena Football League is the only league where you can take a souvenir home. If the ball is thrown in the end zone, you can keep that ball, and that's courtesy of Spalding and Arena Football.
It's a $65 football. It's not like it's something cheap either. And what a great offer for the fans and a great opportunity. And it happens because you're right here on top of the action in the indoor war. Incomplete. No! Touchdown, Firebirds! Oh, no!
And guess who it is? Tahn. He must have a magnet to him. Case of being in the right place at the right time. Porras makes a throw over here to Hammonds. Hammonds tips the ball, and lo and behold, guess who was there? Steve Tahn for his second touchdown. Do you think he's happy, folks?
18 yards on the scoring play. Gusman for the point after. Oh, you know what happens. It hits the goalpost.
I feel for Gusman right now.
I do too. He's 1 for 5. Hey, it could be worse. His ball club's leading by 19, so he'll be able to handle this. We'll be back for the kickoff.
Put on a pair of Bike Compression Performance Support Shorts and find out why they're the choice of some of the world's best athletes and leagues, including the NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and now Arena Football. Work out just one time in CPS's, and you won't believe the protection and support you get.
Designed really in a way for a preventative type of measure.
Go for it in Bike Compression Performance Support Shorts. Now available in authentic Zubas prints.
There's Steve Tahn as he gets another touchdown reception. This one's 16 yards. The last one was 21 yards. He's had an interception tonight. Made some great grabs. That one just simply reactions. And don't mean to belabor the point, but great athletes in this league come up with those type of plays.
I'll tell you what, tremendous athletic ability. You know, Tahn, the next thing I'm looking for, Tahn to throw his own pass and catch it himself. He's just been all over the field.
There is a situation in this league where the quarterback is eligible. Not to throw to yourself, of course.
Hey, anything happen in arena football.
The kickoff coming up from Gusman. Deep man is Barney. Let's see if Albany can continue to cover well on their kicks. The last one was the first positive yardage. They're going to get an opportunity here, New Orleans is, as the return comes out 15, 16 yards this time by Barney as Mosley makes the tackle. And it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 16, and New Orleans will have to strike quickly with 7:58 remaining in this arena football season opener.
You know, one of the key things you got to look at is endurance right now. Mosley, Barney's been playing both ways. He's returning punts. He's playing defensive back, and he's still hanging in there. These guys have to be in great shape. They've got to be, quote unquote, your Iron Man. They've got to be able to handle both sides and also be mentally tough.
Clock moving now. 1st down and 10 for New Orleans. As Albany last year won 3, lost 5, but they won all 3 at home. They were 3-1 at home. End around and bumped into the boards and out of bounds on the play, and some trash talking going on as Rivers was there. Carrying the football was Jerome McIntosh. Garland Rivers out of the University of Michigan. He's picked up off the waiver wire from Detroit this year, and Cook Buffington was so excited, like a little kid in a candy store when he was able to get Rivers away from the drive.
Boy, he's a hitting machine. You see that hit? I guess arena football is the only place that you can feel like you're in the arena, like you're playing football yourself.
The fans are on top of them here.
They are.
And they are loving it. Better than 10,000 here tonight at Knickerbocker Arena in Albany. McIntosh goes in motion. And this one long, incomplete, nearly picked off by Mosley. Fields throwing the pass on the halfback option there. Troy Fields out of Nichols State.
I think Troy gave that play away a little too soon. They might have had a chance. It looked like Garland Rivers was getting ready to bite, but all of a sudden Troy just put that ball up and just let it go.
Well, New Orleans will show you a lot of different looks. They have what Harold Jackson, their offensive coordinator, calls the dirty dozen as far as 12 plays that they hope to get in throughout the ballgame. But it's up to that man, Totten, to make the call. Of course, the coaches make suggestions, but really like what Eddie Kayat and Harold Jackson feel offensively. They say, hey, when you got a quarterback out there with this kind of ability, he's got a feel for the game. Let him call the game, and we'll make suggestions. 6:35 and counting remaining in the contest. 39-20 Firebirds. They led 20-17 at the half. New Orleans tied it up with a field goal for Morales early in the third period, and since then it's been all Albany to lead it by 19. Totten, almost a great grab over the middle that time by Culpepper. Couldn't hang on. Mosley was the defender.
Well, I'll tell you right now, New Orleans needs to make a play. They need a big play to get the team sparked up. They're one of their major problems they had last week was inconsistency and turnovers. And right now they need a big play. They don't need to go for everything go for the home run ball. They need to move the ball downfield, get themselves in position, and score.
Third down and 9 from the 17 for the night. Again, looking for Barney this time over the middle. Slayton covering on the play. And now it'll be a fourth down situation, and that'll bring on Morales for the long field goal.
Well, I saw a few alligator arms on that play, Bill. No one wanted to raise those arms out there to go for that ball. Possibly it was thrown in no man's land, but right now New Orleans needs a big play.
49-yarder coming up here for Morales. He's hit from 44 earlier tonight, also hit from 38. Missed his last one from 32. This 49-yarder is taken deep, and it'll be a touchback and come back out by Mosley on the reception. We'll take a break. Stay with us. Don't go away. Plenty of time. 4:57 remaining. 39-20 Albany.
Ain't nothing like a grand slam to make you feel like a real man.
Now on video, Grand Slam. Relive all the excitement of baseball in a bases-loaded celebration of America's dream game.
Probably the best thing that's ever happened in a baseball videotape.
I would have played for nothing, you know. I mean, I just love to play baseball.
I mean, it beats working, believe me.
Hitting a baseball is the hardest single thing to do in sports.
Believe it or not, I guessed about 95% of the time.
A genuine superstar of a tape, a gem of a collectible, flat out marvelous, a baseball lover's dream.
Pitchers are the enemy.
They were always the enemy. I try not to get along with any of them. I just would stay away from them.
I didn't fraternize with them.
They're not really people.
They're the dumbest athletes on the field.
To order your collector's copy of Grand Slam, call toll-free 1-800-547-5300. It's your turn at bat for a Grand Slam. Get in on the excitement and call now. That's 1-800-547-5300.
Rick Buffington in the background there talking to his ball club. Buffington likens this Albany area to the Green Bay of arena football, as he says, when you got Albany and Schenectady and Troy, the Tri-Cities here of around 500,000 population, they have really rallied around this franchise. Better than 10,000 here tonight. First time he's taken a breather all night. He says there's some positioning involved to his getting on the sidelines to avoid getting hit himself. It's like a hockey coach standing out on the ice. You take your life in your hands. Porras completes the pass to Ton at the 13-yard line on a first down call.
I think Porras and Tom have something going. Ton is just running a quick curl pattern. Porras takes a 3-step drop, fires it to the flat, and obviously Ton makes another great catch.
And it'll be a 2nd down and 3 now for the Firebirds. And in this league, sometimes your offense is your best defense because that clock is moving now until the 1-minute mark. Wide open, Mosley. He stepped out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. He stepped out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Well, Mosley will learn to use that arm and use that sideline pass.
Exactly.
This is a perfect opportunity to show you how valuable that sideline wall could have been. Here's the throw. Porras pumps the hook, a fake hook. Mosley is down the sideline all by himself. Now all he has to do is just touch that wall with his hand and keep his foot, keep his balance, and that's a touchdown.
Tough though, where he's got his outside hand being his right hand. He almost needed to try to catch it one-handed with the left, use the right hand to brace himself, or quickly move the football to his left hand.
Well, quickly move the football. That's a touchdown. You find a way to make those plays happen. They don't come too often. You don't get that wide open too often.
As long as you keep your feet in bounds, you can use that wall. It can be your ally. Man in motion is Tom. They look for him again across the middle. Touchdown, Firebirds!
And Gusman comes back out to the field. Here's a replay, and I bet you can't guess who it's going to. I personally believe Ton might have his name on that football. Many times he's catching the ball, and many times he's catching in the end zone. He ran a crossing route. Porras took his time, laid it up, and Ton made a great catch reaching out for the ball.
And Porras, that's his 5th touchdown pass tonight. He's scored 2, thrown 5. Ton's caught 3 scores here in the second half alone. It's 45-20. And Gary Gusman, to the chant of Gary, Gary from the hometown fans, comes on to try another one.
We're looking at a way if he makes this.
They blew the whistle before he hit the uprights. He was good this time. He's 1 of 5 coming into that one.
You would think the score is 45-44, and Gusman's got to make this play, folks.
Gusman saying, just isn't my night. It's procedure on the offense, and that'll push it back a few, 3 yards, and Gusman will have to do it again.
You got to wonder what he's thinking right now.
Well, but as I mentioned, Tony, kickers, you know, it's feast or famine many times, but he's just got to be glad that in this case, it doesn't appear that they'll need those points and that your ball club's going to get a victory as they're up by 25 with 2:03 to go.
But it's a heck of a way to be remembered.
Yeah. Rupert bobbled the snap, and it hits the crossbar this time, and it's no good. Oh, I really feel for Gary Gusman. Gusman misses again, but Albany's pouring it on, 45-20.
In Australia, there's wild beaches, the outback, and Aussie rules football. Full-out, full-blown, full-contact football. The hardest hits, the awesome kicks, and the man in white. There's nothing like it. Australian rules football. It's a kick. Friday afternoons at 5 on Prime Network. Available on most Prime affiliates.
Gusman gets ready for the kickoff here, but Tom Porras, what a night. He has set a new Albany record for most touchdown passes in a game. Kyle Mackey, who failed to report here this year, had the previous mark with 3 against Pittsburgh last year and also against Denver, but Porras with 5 in his debut as a Firebird. And he will be the toast of the town as the singing quarterback. He's going to play the guitar and be singing probably within an hour after this contest here in Albany. The kickoff, and here comes Barney out to the 11-yard line, brought down hard there, and then away from the action.
Is there arena football? We've got Goins and Slayton over there going at it. And there's another record you have to mention. I believe Ton has broken a record also, the most touchdown receptions in a game with 3. I think Merv Mosley with Pittsburgh and Fred Gales with Denver a few years back had held the record previously with 2.
So another team record broken, and the most touchdowns receiving in a game for the Firebirds, Mosley and Gales, 2 each. And Tom getting 3 all in the second half, as well as having a big interception here tonight.
And all those gentlemen, those records have been broken, are in this, are with these teams or have played for these teams.
All right, New Orleans just trying to get some work done here. Willie Totten takes a break as James Harvey comes in to replace him out of North Carolina Central, and he goes to Barney. Nearly picks up the first down, about 9, just shy of the 15-yard line. Slayton makes the tackle.
If there's any such thing as prevent defense, this must be it. Tony Slayton's playing about 10 yards off the ball, and he's backpedaling at the same time. And as a result, they went underneath. Harvey hit Willie Culpepper over there for a quick pass, or Barney over there for a quick pass.
1 minute to go, and now the clock stops when appropriate. Harvey complete to McIntosh. Jerome McIntosh brought down hard inside Firebird territory at the 22-yard line by Merv Mosley.
Yeah, Merv Mosley, he laid a shot on him. Let's take a look at that. McIntosh took a shot.
.52 seconds to go. Here's a look at it.
Here's a shot. Watch this forearm that Mosley delivers.
Well, Smith there also.
Smith riding his back, but Mosley left the impact with his forearm.
Harvey complete. McIntosh inside the 5, bounced off the boards but stepped out of bounds. They're going to mark it near the 5-yard line. Slayton making the tackle. Jerome McIntosh from Tulane. He's the MVP of the Tulane University Ball Club back in '89. Set some receiving records there with 908 yards for the season. 55 grabs, 7 scores.
I think the receivers are going to have to learn to take advantage of that sideline. They've gotten opportunities with the guys who just shoved them into that sideline. If they just use that arm, they might have an opportunity to move down the field. Here's a perfect opportunity. He hits them. If he uses that arm, the rebound off the field or off the side of the wall, there's a possibility he could have scored on that play. It's easier said than done, and believe me, I can tell you that from being a former player.
We talked about the big night that Porras has had of his 5 touchdown passes, new team record. If you're thinking, gee, how's that stand in the league? Well, don't get carried away. Most touchdown passes in a game, 10 by Whit Taylor of Denver against Washington back in '87, and that's arena football for you. Here's Harvey, who's looked good in this opening series for him. Incomplete and intercepted. So I put the kiss of death on him as Mosley comes up with his second interception of the night. He had one on the opening series and may have gotten one here on what could have been the final possession for New Orleans with just 22 seconds remaining. So a big night for Mosley on the defensive side.
And Mosley's got a knack for catching the ball. He had 3 interceptions against Dallas to hold the individual game record. Right here, I don't think the quarterback should have threw that ball. I think if Harvey could have had that ball back, he would have elected to throw that ball away. There are just too many people in that area.
And here's Porras. Who knows? He may get another one the way this ball club's been moving. He keeps the football.
Porras hasn't had enough yet.
And they will stop the clock if they don't think you're attempting to make positive yardage. That's why you can't just down the ball. They play to the final moment here. And now fans realize this one is over as Albany has won its home opener. .45-20. Firebirds over the night. Bembry getting congratulations. Rick Buffington comes over looking for Ed Kayat, and he and Kayat are old friends, have worked together at previous stops.
Harold Jackson.
There's Ed Kayat. And the best thing about this league might be the fact that, yeah, it's an indoor war and it's a battle when they're on the field, but these teams really cooperate with one another and they do what's best for the league to make arena football click. And Tom, what a night for him. Totten says we'll be back, and you can believe that young man will lead it. The night home next week to take on Tampa in their home opener as Albany travels to Denver to meet the Dynamite.
Well, for an exhibition game, or for their first game, you gotta give New Orleans a little bit of credit. This is their first time going out there, really getting a chance to get a feel what arena ball is like. The players are getting an idea of how to perform. Willie Totten calling his own plays. Maybe he'll have a better feel next week. Maybe not trying to go for the home run every time, and maybe try to set things up and set that home run up.
You don't think you're in a home field advantage in arena football? Think twice and look at the tape of this one as the Firebirds revved it up tonight in front of 10,189, winning at 4 here in Albany.
Cousins Warehouse is the source for photo appliance and electronics. At Cousins, it's simple. We sell for less. Cousins has guaranteed everyday lowest prices on all RCA TV and video equipment like this.